let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safer Liquid Beer Review podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's not static, AM radio. It's the Cool Bed Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody's tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and log you with some sirloin bites.
.04 on the Nielson Show, the morning after the Super Bowl. What's going on, everybody? Hammer the thumbs up for us. Nielson Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chevrolet. Go see Daniel and his dream team out there. They'll do a better job than Patrick Mahomes did last night for the Kansas City Chiefs. We will get into that game, obviously. Four Nations firing up as well. But what a great time at the casino last night.
Splendid.
Century Casino does it again. Century Casino, great time there last night. Fun, but I mean, I didn't get too carried away. You were there rather late.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. They've treated me well all year.
I love your Shania shirt, by the way.
That's the same one I was wearing last night. If you know, you know. Props to them. They were like the Eagles' front four, just in your face the entire evening. It was a great night. It was a great night and a great evening. Thank you to the Blake, Renee, the whole team there, front staff, back staff, the whole bit.
I think everybody who was there had an absolutely tremendous time.
Nothing bad happened.
YouTube Trev, you were there. You were kind of taking it a bit easy last night. Maybe a little bit different viewpoint than us. But what did you think of the evening?
Yes, I had a different approach from last year.
Yeah.
Because I was late last year.
Yeah.
Almost made it 1 year.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun. Just a great group of people. I met so many new nasties, and obviously the very committed loyalist of the loyal nasties I was able to talk to, which was really cool, and just catch up with them. And they were always so fun and just nice. So it was good to see everyone. I thoroughly enjoyed my time. I really did.
Yeah, I had a great time last night. But then the highlight of my night last night was the hotel I got. So I just, I'm thinking, I was like, don't want to go all the way back out home, which is only like 15 minutes from here. So I got a hotel like down the street from work. In fact, I walked to work this morning. I was walking I started my truck, and then and I went to get in it, and I saw Trev pull into his parking spot at work, and I was like, well, I should probably just walk. So I nice, brisk, short walk. Like,
you hiked it.
I might still be connected to the internet at the hotel. Like, sure. I'm that close. The Wi-Fi might still be connected over here. But it was great. I got back there last night. I probably was back at the hotel like around 11. Got back, and I was hungry, obviously, after a fun night at the casino. And the most clutch thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This hotel has, one of those little sort of pantry sections with some drinks you can buy and put it on your room type of thing. And they had pizza pops.
Dangerous.
And I haven't had a pizza pop I can't tell you the last time I actually had a pizza pop. And I saw these things, and I was like, yes. So I had some pizza pops. I'm in this room that has like I could live there. I mean, I could live just down the street. Like the little kitchenette there's a dishwasher, microwave, like real plates. Oh, it was tremendous.
Real plates.
Got up this morning, had a shower, grabbed my bag, walked to work. I mean, everybody should live in a hotel right next to work. It's the best. I'm probably, after Nielson Show today before Lock Shop, I'm probably walking back over to the hotel, sleep for a little bit. We're not going to waste the hotel first thing in the morning. So
no activation in the gym, though.
Well, there's a nice gym.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever use it if I lived there, but the pool.
Push some weight around.
Looks nice.
Push some weight around.
Maybe I'll go push some weight this morning.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, maybe. I'll see. I mean, I can do whatever I want in that
Pizza
hotel.
Pops, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I might have morning pizza pops.
Why not? Yeah.
Put 2 more on the room, good sir. Back up to the microwave. So, yeah, no, it was a really good idea to just stay right down the street. It was very happy with it. I told Trev, I said, I want to get to know the guy who manages the place so I can just slide over and he can, like in the middle of the week, he can just slide me a room key and I can go nap for like 2 hours before I go home to the family. Just a nice hotel room nap, maybe a little dip in the pool and then go home. I just need to know the guy and I'll pay him like, I don't know, $20-$25. Give me a couple hours. Let me go have a snooze. So anyway, I'm excited for this new hotel relationship I'm developing down the street.
I mean, well, passed out in my Uber on the way home. So
yeah, you probably did.
Sir, yes, what?
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Stu Pedasso is in and says, guys, I just tuned in. Was the beer tower a go? It was
Lots
not.
of towers.
We got lots of mini towers.
Small area.
There was one tower, and I thought Big Uke did a pretty good job. We were stabilizing it.
Yeah.
Like it was a much wider tower, and we got about 5 high in a matter of minutes. Once somebody saw we were doing at our table, it was like a bunch of vultures heading in for the kill. Like you came over with like 30 cans of 6 o'clocker lager.
Yeah.
We built it up about this high. And then old Matty Iwanek came over and
one by one
took it all down one by one. So we didn't.
Right ahead us back to there was a reason and a story and we
understandable.
We want to have more Super Bowls at the Centric Casinos.
Understandable. Yeah, tough. Burglar is in and says, guys, how about a conch for EST being live this morning? Well, we have. I mean, it is the Monday after Super Bowl. We do have to be on the air, I would think, to discuss this football game. And we'll get to that as we work our way through the show today. Lots of time for it. But let's lay out the program for you. You can text us anytime, Paris Jewelers inbox. Were you guys doing shots of Jameson last night?
Lots.
I know.
Lots.
I can feel it a bit. I think
into the morning.
I mostly had the Fireball.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You guys were doing Jameson, and I took down. When I got there, I said, as long as I don't do any shots, I'm going to be okay. I'm feeling pretty good. Like I was home pretty early.
Oh, good for you.
But
good for you. You're both looking great. You're feeling great. You're at home tucked in your little beds. You can feel this
good too. Like anyway, I ended up having 15 drinks last night, not including the shots. I feel spectacular. I had 15 doubles.
I saw you have a couple fireballs.
A couple fireballs.
My vicinity.
I didn't go too crazy though.
No,
it was.
I did.
And at halftime, I went and played video roulette.
Okay.
And I ended up coming out up $3.
You're high. Yeah.
I was down. I put in 100. I was down to like 65. Got it back up to 103 and cashed out.
You know who I blame is that damn glue guy.
Yeah. Yeah, glue guy.
Terrible influence.
Glue guy might have been one of the stars of the show last night.
Well, he was there.
Yeah.
I was there longer than him.
You did make it the longest.
Let that be.
Yeah, I saw glue guy head off into the distance at one point. I looked at him. I said, "Glue guy," and he's like, "Oh, he's out of here."
Did his daughter break her finger or something? Yeah.
No, that was Gager.
I know.
Yeah. All right, morning announcements. We're gonna get to that. That hurts for. Actually, it's not broken. Yeah, thought it was broken.
Update.
Not broken.
Yeah.
That hurts. This was a weird situation last night. Have to discuss it. I'm going to make it that hurts today at 6:30. And we could just look at Kansas City Chiefs last night. The final score ended up being 40-22.
Is that what it was?
But that was a 40-6 game it was a blowout, an absolute bare butt spanking. So we'll get to that hurts. An interesting situation with myself and Hernan last night. I'm going to bring this up.
Okay.
I don't think you were sitting right next
You
to him.
smoked a cigarette.
No, I did not. The good, bad, and ugly from the weekend for Playmo Tables and Games. Darren Dreger will be by for Pro-Am Sports just after 7. We'll take a look at these 4 Nation odds for our partners over at Cool Bet. Mike Tanier is going to join us. Looking forward to breaking down the game with Mike, who is from Philadelphia. What are they, Philadelphians?
Yeah, they
think
did not
so.
sleep.
Anyway, he'll be by
That
around.
town was,
Oh, man, can you imagine that
by
place?
halftime, I mean, it was roaring.
The Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. The big question, what are you expecting from McDavid at the 4 Nations face-off?
Health
Now,
and merriment.
Come home healthy. Try to get a little bit of rest if possible. He's not been good for like the last... He's not been McDavid good for about the last month. So we might get into that a little bit. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's 3 questions too many. That's a good. We'll get into that around 8:30 today. Marmot Basin Snow Report and the wrap for William Huff. Let's get into your morning announcements. Brought to you by 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Yukon and McCord well, not today. It's just Yukon today. And Jess Jackson every single afternoon on your way home. All right. How about Jasmine last night? Pushing for this staff picture after a couple of the staff members left. She's like, "We gotta get a picture." I say, "Yeah, but Trev's gone and Gager's gone.
Herding cats.
Now we're taking a staff picture with 80% of the people." And I didn't smile in any of the pictures
Good for you.
because I said I'm protesting this picture because a couple of the guys aren't here.
Yeah.
And she was still pushing it through. I looked at her. I said, "Oh, you and your pictures."
You look like her friends.
Yeah. Final table. Uke, Cash, Corey B, Dustin with a Y, and us.
Oh, no. It was me, you, Cash.
Oh, like at
That
the
was
final
That
table.
was the final.
Yeah.
Final ride.
Yeah, because there were
Excuse me,
6 of us
we're
left
closing,
in the casino.
We're closing down the pub, boys. Would you like to go home and...
Wow.
I
Cash
know
and
the
you
one you're
too.
talking about.
Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Kind of the last
Middle-
picture we
middle,
took of
yeah.
that, yeah.
Don't final table me.
You mean you? Yeah, well, yeah, you obviously were final
table me, yeah.
Yeah. You, Big Uke, and Cash. It's a nice run.
That was it. And those boys can hold their liquor.
I don't think we'll see Big Uke in the chat this morning.
Nope.
Let's just say that.
Coward.
If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Okay, so Super Bowl last night, the Philadelphia Eagles getting as much pressure as they did without blitzing Patrick Mahomes was pretty impressive.
4.
Like just a 4-man rush, at least through the first half. I saw the tweets at halftime saying the Philadelphia Eagles are all over Patrick Mahomes and they didn't blitz once in the first half. I don't know if that changed in the second half, but in the first half, they were just running 4 and it was simple on, but they stuck to it to kind of keep the Chiefs. I mean, try to keep them honest because Hurts had 72 yards on 11 carries, but Saquon only had 57 on 25, but they gave him 25 carries, even though he only averaged 2.3 yards. I just think that opened things up for Jalen Hurts. And in the end, Kansas City just simply did not have an answer.
Yeah, RBM says, anyone saying the game yesterday was a dud doesn't appreciate amazing defense. That was an absolute clinic put on by the Eagles. No flag football quarterback they shut down. And I was sitting next to Jay Milne's brother-in-law. They both of them played football.
Yeah.
If you didn't hear. And
They did play.
And he was telling me about the defense the entire night. Yeah, it was something to watch. And
Look, that being said, the Eagles' defense might have been impressive, but it was so impressive the game was a dud. Like, let's be honest. Like, it was not a...
But to do that in the final game of the year that early, that's the impressive part against a team vying for a three-peat. I mean,
Patrick Mahomes has now thrown multiple interceptions in 3 Super Bowls.
and had a decent record, right? Going into or during yesterday's event.
Now he's 3-2. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. There's a bunch of text messages rolling in. Paris Jewelers inbox. One of your texts will win text of the day for A&W. They got that Buddy bundle right now. Buddy burger, medium drink, medium fries, or the chicken buddy with the fries and the drink for just $6. Just $6 today. You doing all right?
Oh, I'm doing.
You can go lay down for a bit if you want.
No,
Pop back for the update.
I will not.
Burglar says, guys, if that Super Bowl was a boxing match, it would have been ruled a no contest. I like that one. Keep them rolling in. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
How was the post party at Atif's? Did you?
I did not make it.
If anybody got there, let us know.
I did not make it to Atif's. Colton in Quinnell says, morning, boys. The Super Bowl was the visual equivalent of Philadelphia. Loud, in your face, and will inflict bodily harm on you if you're wearing a different color jersey. And that was just on the field. Anyone know if there's light poles standing in New Orleans still? Yeah, the party must have been something else last night. Rubella 2.0 early this morning. Can I please get a happy birthday conch for the legend himself, Vance Van Vandervan? Happy birthday,
Hey.
Vance Van Vandervan. That's good. I got time for some Taylor Swift text today. Taylor Swift's inner sense of being human after sustaining boos at the Super Bowl.
Milne hit on the white. She was in the white.
Yeah, he nailed it. He was very happy about that. He also was chasing heavily last night because he was on the Chiefs. I did the emotional hedge where I bet on the Chiefs to win. That way, if they won, I would have made money. But I was very happy that they didn't win.
Were
It
you
was
there when
perfect.
Mick the Aussie was kicked out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was up with that?
He was filming. That was the problem.
Oh, that's what it was.
And the whole team showed up.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Mick the Aussie was filming a video interviewing somebody there and got booted out.
I like to think they kicked him out just because it was him, but
But they did not.
It was the filming. That's what it was about. But boys, I mean, your night. I mean, off the field, we all had to get. What did you eat? What did you?
I'm gonna get to what I had.
I still want to order the dry ribs. I meant to order a second plate of food, but that never.
I was gonna have a second plate too.
Yeah.
Trev, what did you end up having? Did you go that cheesesteak?
Smoked Philly cheesesteak.
Looks like you had the cheesesteak.
I had the smoked
that
Philly
cheesesteak. They moved a lot of cheesesteaks
was
there last night.
Excellent. It was exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
And then I had some chicken wings from Glue Guy.
Did you have some
when
wings
he
from
looked
Glue Guy?
When he looked away, I'd
Did you sneak some? Oh, you're a sneaky boy, Trev.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And the dry ribs as well.
Zach and I split a pizza later on.
I
Just
saw
that
that.
nice little pizza.
Oh yeah.
Zach's like, if I get a pizza, will you have a slice? I said, Zach, I'll buy you a pizza.
You're supposed to drive me
But
home.
I'm having 2 slices.
Yeah.
He was supposed to drive you home. He left pretty early, I think.
He's the reason.
Oh, that's why. That's why he stayed out
Damn
so
it,
late.
Zach.
Take that, Zach. Anyway, if you want to send in some funny Taylor Swift text, I was going back and forth with a buddy last night. And we were making all those puns. Like, boy, after getting booed at the Super Bowl, I wonder if Taylor Swift has any bad blood feelings towards the NFL.
Probably made quite a swift exit after that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I hope Taylor and Travis can shake it off. Spency 5 cents. He says, my big dubs were Tails and Andy Reid to be shown not during Anthem first. Broke even with all the KC bets. All right, so there you go. Ended up working out a little bit. Northside Sandwich says, why did she get booed exactly? Well, I'm assuming it was because she's Travis Kelce's girlfriend and there's more Eagles fans at the game.
Yeah.
That Jocelyn says Swifty got booed at the casino as well.
That's a tough look.
Jeez. All right, 780-218-99 is where you can that's a good one. I don't know about you, but that score looks like 22. That's a song of hers. And they had 22 points. I see what you're doing, Colton and Quinnell. That's pretty funny. That guy who absolutely hates our guts texted in 5 times at 12:44 last night.
What?
Yeah. Seriously, though, this came in at 12:44.
Oh, no, he was in one.
He must have been.
Oh, no.
I mean, I feel bad for this dude. We're gonna have to.
I've been trying to.
I know you've been. I know.
I'm
I see.
trying to get him.
You've been nice to him. Seriously, though, you all need to get yourselves real jobs. Trust me, pretending to be a radio host in a radio station is not your strongest suit. You're all nothing but a bunch of YouTube wannabe nobodies. There is a reason you all got canned. Take that as a hint, losers.
Wow. Well,
That's in 5 separate texts.
12:44 was the last one, so he's probably
Just
asleep.
before 1 o'clock.
I'm going to reply with my own thread of
Send a
texts.
Hello. Nice text back to me.
Hello.
Atif is up. He's into the inbox. Kansas City's playing the Super Bowl. That hurts. LTE not listening to my joke. That hurts. That's the losing all that money on the Kansas City Chiefs. That hurts.
He said he had a lot of jokes prepared. He also wanted us to bring prizing, Trev, you and me. He tried to play each other off each other. He said if you swing by the station, pick up my gift cards. He also said he asked you Friday. So he was going to get 2 counts of gift cards, both Trev bringing and me bringing. To which I didn't. You didn't bring him anything, did you?
I feel terrible. I actually
But he
feel really bad. Yes, he
Yes,
did, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot.
But he wanted 2. He already hit you up. Then he was hitting me up yesterday.
Oh,
So that crafty. I think he
sly
gets none now.
dog.
They gave away a ton of good prizes
Oh, yeah,
yesterday,
yeah.
too.
Blake was killing it. Yeah.
Bad Atif.
Yeah.
Bad Atif.
Man,
Yeah, that was,
what a guy.
Yeah.
I told him last night, I said, put your hat on. You're creeping me out. He's
Yeah,
sitting there with no hat. I was like, put your hat on, man.
Without
What
a
is
hat.
this?
That was
What is
funny.
this? Jen texts in 780-218-9999. Can I get a conch for my daughter? It's her 10th birthday today. Happy birthday, Paisley. Yes, that's a great name, by the way. Paisley, great name. Do we have a halftime review? Dreger's joining us today. Rashog's busy at Four Nations. Covering practice or something, so he won't be able to join us. He usually does our
Yes.
halftime review.
The traditional Super Bowl breakdown for Ryan Rashad.
I know. I'm
will
very
not be
sad.
happening this year.
I'm very sad. You probably didn't watch the halftime show.
Not at all.
No, I didn't think so.
I was losing my money out on the floor.
I was playing video roulette when the halftime show happened. However, when I got back to the hotel last night, I was eating my pizza pops. I watched the entire thing back. I think I summarize it like this. If you are a fan of Kendrick Lamar, you probably really liked it. If you're not, and I'm not anti Kendrick Lamar, if I had to pick a side in the beef, I guess I'd go with him because I don't really like Drake anyway. But I'm not a fan of his. I'm not opposed to him, but I'm not a fan of his. So when I watched it back last night, I mean, I immediately went and watched this Dre and Snoop halftime show again.
yeah.
I mean, he was involved in that too, but I don't know. I mean, it did not move the needle for me, but 780-218-9999. Trev, you're younger and cooler and hipper. You watched it last night when you got back home too. Did you, are you a Kendrick Lamar fan? Like, you're familiar with his music and stuff?
I love Kendrick.
Okay, perfect then. So what did you think of it?
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed.
Oh, really?
Like, he didn't play nearly as much of his like bigger hits, like what he came out with.
I did hear about that. Yeah,
Like, it was none of his early stuff. There's a lot of stuff off his new album, which I wasn't really too keen on. As far as, like, I know Zach was all over it. I know Jazz was as well. I know Hernan, he tweeted, he said that was sick. But
okay.
I wasn't like, oh, that was good. I thought it was pretty meh. I thought it was mid.
Yeah.
I really did. Saying that, I think it was better than last year's. I think it was better than Usher.
Who was last year?
Usher.
Oh yeah, that wasn't good either.
He wasn't good.
Yeah, like I tweeted last night. I just don't know how you ever top Snoop and Dre and 50 Cent
Like,
and
that
Eminem and Mary J. Blige. Like I don't know how you.
They peaked.
I don't know how you do that. Well, Prince. I mean, some guy
was
did
good.
reply and was
Stones,
like Prince too.
yeah.
Like they've had some. I don't know who would be. I don't know if the music industry's like at a low point or something. Like I don't know who would be the best halftime show
Music's
right now.
done. They should start getting in like mimes
A
and
magician.
actors. Yeah, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a
Like a
talent show.
circus.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
A circus.
Yeah.
With elephants. And
The whole
stuff.
bit. 3 ring.
I don't know. I'm trying to think which artist would move the needle for me as a Super Bowl halftime performance right now. And I don't really know who that is. RCN, Straight Fire. I mean, like I said, guys, but I mean, you said you really love Kendrick Lamar and you thought it was even so.
I wasn't like, oh, that was the best thing ever. I was like, it's as expected.
Troll is in and says, never heard Kendrick before. That guy was awful. So, I mean, these are people who are not familiar with him. They didn't like it. If you liked him, you might have liked it. Maybe you didn't. But, Timber Woodsman says, enough is enough already. Weird Al halftime show. Yes. The kids and I and Tammy, we're watching Star Wars all the time again, right? We're going back to Disneyland in March, so they're all fired up. So we've been watching a lot of Star Wars. And we were playing Yoda. Where were we driving to? We were going somewhere. And then we listened to The Saga Begins, which is his song about episode 1. And genius. Like, just straight up genius. It's made to American plot, like the American bye. Yeah. So I was singing it Saturday. The whole family was looking at me like I was crazy because I had Marshall's Maui hook from Moana as a guitar, and I sang like the entire thing, and the family's just sort of sitting around. I was just buzzing. I was buzzing on a Weird Al high. I would definitely.
So was Tammy.
Watch to see a weird. Oh yeah, she was. Well, that's my husband. Like. I would love to see Weird Al get something like that. It will never, ever, 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 ever happen. But my God, I'd have time for it.
The shouts from Creed are up from the nasty chat as well. That would.
Well, I mean, they're trending towards it
right now. They're hot.
Yeah,
you could totally see that.
They have the most memorable football performance possibly of all time.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind seeing Tool.
Yeah, bury the cheater in the chat. My, this here Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later, now he's just a small fry. Left his home and kissed his mommy goodbye, saying soon I'm going to be a Jedi. Classic. Like, he did the entire movie in a song. It was brilliant. Guy's a genius. All right, so should my feelings be hurt in this Hernan Salas situation? A classic Super Bowl party scenario happened yesterday. We will get to that coming up. The good, bad, and ugly from the weekend for Play More Tables and Games as well. You can text us 780-218-9999. Bonnie Doon Ron is asking, is Dusty drinking coffee this morning? No, I'm drinking a tea from the hotel down the street.
Yeah.
I'm going to start just walking in there during the day like I have a room. And it's like, oh, hey, what's up? Just getting a coffee.
Just going to use the pool.
Come back up. All right, see you guys later. I mean... I wonder if they'd actually call me on it. At some point, they probably would. But I could get away with it for a little bit. But yeah, free tea at the hotel this morning. What a life. All right, let's get to the sports update. On the other side, do Hernan and I have beef? We'll get into that coming up next. Good, bad, and ugly. Dreger just after 7 o'clock on expectations for the Four Nations.
Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks as the Eagles would deny the Chiefs the three-peat 40-22, your final of Super Bowl 59. Four Nations face-off gets underway Wednesday night. Canada will take on Sweden. 2 games in the NHL yesterday. Lightning holding off the Habs 5-3 and Utah 5-4 shootout winners over Washington. Rockets top the Raps at NBA action 94-87. Coming up next, more Hour 1 of the Nielson Show here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Cool.
Edmonton Sports Talk, roaring to the top. Get ready to face your bets after listening to the lock shop. 6 hours and 8 and 12 after only 1 year. They're like a pit stop house machine, shifting into top gear. Practicum and YouTube prep. Take a short drive with wheels out to Southport Chef. Weekly afternoon just got a little bit more sweet. Hernan Salas brings the heat while Gager reads the jerky meat. For everything Oilers, tune into the Oral Stream. And if that ain't enough, don't miss 2 guys and a Joaquin. If you're looking for insider, tune in for Darren Dreger. If it's the NFL you're into, check out the coach, Herman Edwards. The Italian Center, that's good. I'd go to Pro Am Sports every day if I could. If he's on location in your neighborhood, the morning show will give you your morning wood. There are too many shows to mention, like Riverhawks Weekly and Tommy and Beldy on Saturday Hello Hockey, and the VIP Golf Show with McCord and
6:32 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here. Dusty, YouTube, Trev, and Lieutenant Eric. You can text the same time, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Your thoughts on we haven't even got to the whole Mahomes legacy question. Now he's been blown out in 2 Super Bowls. I think the GOAT conversation is certainly on hold for probably quite some time. But your thoughts on that, your thoughts on the halftime show, your thoughts on the Eagles getting it done. We will get into a bunch of those as we work our way through the show today as well. Dave the Welder's in it says, during cow shows, we would get cheap hotels next to fancy hotels. Then we'd go eat continental breakfasts at the fancy hotel. Typically, they'd kick you out the second or third morning, and then we'd move on to the next fancy hotel. That's pretty funny, actually. I like that. 780-218-9999. RBM is in it. It says, guy who hates your guts, seeing you absolutely killing it at EST.
I can't believe it.
Driving him crazy. All right, so here's what hurts for James H. Brown. The heavy hitters of injury law. You've been injured in an accident. You know what to do. It's very simple. Go to jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. Heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. All right, so yesterday I did have wings. I ordered the wings and the little cactus chips or whatever. So I ordered the wings. Hernan asked me, he goes, hey, how are the wings? I said, oh, I mean, they're good. Like, they're good wings. And he goes, oh, Glue Guy said they were no good. I said, what are you talking about? Like, they're good wings. So there's a big order for like less than $10. I must have had like 12, 13, 14 wings. So they're sitting there. So I looked at her and I said, hey, you want a wing? Try a wing. Like, if you're curious about them, just have one of my wings. He goes, no, it's all good. But then, like 20 minutes later, Glue Guy gets 2 orders of wings to the end of the table.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I said, hey, if Glue Guy said the wings are no good, why does he just order 2 plates of them? He goes, yeah, that's interesting. I said, yeah. So then I'm sitting there, and like 3 minutes later, Hernan's eating wings from Glue Guy's plate. And I was just like, but I just offered you a wing no more than 5 minutes ago.
Both dry rub.
And why did he pass them? Yeah, and you know what? It was salt and pepper. And he was eating a salt and pepper from Glue Guy, but he wouldn't have a salt and pepper from my plate. So what do you think's going on there, boys?
Glue Guy was talking about the hot and how he didn't like the sauce. You got to get dry rub.
I mean, I'm a big salt and pepper wing guy, but I tell you, I was rattled.
I'd be offended.
I didn't call him out, but I would have. Yeah, I saw it. I looked at him, and then in my mind, I was like, wait a second, did I not offer him a wing 5 minutes ago? And he said no. And now he's eating wings off the plate of the very guy who said they were no good? I don't understand it.
Did you say something to him in the night?
No, I'm going to have an awkward conversation today.
So about those wings.
So what happened with my wings?
I noticed you didn't want to eat mine, but you would with Glue Guys. So I just want a clarification there.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to
slow.
I'm going to get more wings today. And I'm just going to have him around the office. And when he comes in, he'll be like, Hernan, you want a wing? Yeah. And then he'll be like, no, I'm good. But then Glue Guy will bring in leftover wings from yesterday, and he'll eat those.
Yeah.
It blew my mind.
Already be chewed
I had no idea what to do.
Yeah, that does hurt. That would hurt me if I offered wings. It's like you take it personally, you know? Did I say something? Did I do something wrong? Especially because he's sitting. Hernan was right by you.
He was right next to me.
And Glue Guy was
2 guys over.
So like he's making an effort to avoid your wings.
I've never seen anything so disrespectful in my entire life.
That hurts.
Yeah.
That does hurt.
Cooties pops up in the Paris Toulouse inbox, perhaps.
Well, I mean, Glue Guy was way filthier than I was last night, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like there was more going on down there than at our end of the table.
Yeah.
Big Maple says Hernan really wanted the wing, but he didn't want to look like he was brown nosing with the boss. It's not brown nosing if I offer you a wing. Just have the wing. But
sounds like the things you don't wash your hands, Dusty. That comes in from stupid asshole.
They had just been dropped off. I mean, my hands weren't dirty. I don't know. I gonna have an awkward stare down with him today. You can come in. I'm gonna go back into the old Gager's office area. Hernan, can you come in the office for a second?
What was up with the wings?
What's up with the wing, man?
You have to tell me.
Like, I'm going to test him on other foods. I'm going to get some Timbits today. Like, hey, would you like some Timbits? Then he'll say no there. So anyway, it was a very awkward situation. I think if I was sitting in Hernan's seat and somebody offered me a wing, I don't think I'd be like, oh no, I'll have the exact same wing from down there.
Actually, yeah.
It's a
climbs across.
Yeah. So
makes it really obvious about you.
Me yesterday, after I offered Hernan a wing, and then I turn around and see him eating the exact same wing off Jay's plate.
I can't believe it.
I didn't know what else to do. And him on that wing as I looked at him.
And here he is, having the time of his life.
All right, 780-218-9999. Fergie says, Dusty had pickle herring brine on his fingers and it turned off Hernan.
Yeah, Fergie's prostate leaving after the first quarter. Never seen that at a Super Bowl
Who
before.
leaves a Super Bowl party after the first quarter? That was the first two. Fergie's like, hey, we'll see you guys later. I was like, hey, thanks for coming out for a quarter of the game, Fergie. You know what we did have? I think you were there.
I was there the whole night.
We had that shot where we had to drink the pickle juice after.
Yeah, pickleback.
Oh, boy, the pickleback?
Yeah.
That was the end of the night for me. It was at that point I was like, I'm grabbing an Uber, I'm going to the hotel, I'm having some pizza pops, and I'm going to bed.
You guys are all very responsible.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
780-218-9999.
Hell.
The text messages are flying in here after the Super Bowl party. It's not on a Wednesday.
It was wild.
What was?
The party.
Yeah.
We're all home by 10.
It was a good time, though.
Oh, I know. It's a great time.
Strummy. Dusty offers a wing to Hernan. Hernan's reply.
Get away from me, you horse's ass.
780-218-9999. Keep the text messages rolling in. We will we'll get to a few more of those as we work our way through the show this morning. So are you guys are you going to be fully invested in Four Nations? Or are you just going to take 2 weeks off from hockey here? What do you think? We're going to have to be talking about it. We're going to be watching it. So I don't know. I feel like I'm going to Boston next week. I feel like I'm just going to buy into this.
Go Sweden.
Just suck it up.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
Well, you're going to have a great time.
Well, in Boston, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be nice to be at the final thing.
Yeah, you'll be out clicking up the heels with us.
Yeah.
And
well, yeah. I finally get to go somewhere with Huss. It'll be.
Hey, how's he, by the way? Hear from him yet?
Well, we will on the lock shop
He's a
today.
Big winner.
It is going to be the saddest / most hilarious lock shop of all time.
Yeah.
He's going to be very disappointed. I don't know if both Pat and Jake are joining me.
It's not because the Bombers are bringing Chris Strevler either.
No, Strev is back, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be very interesting. This is the thing for Huss today on the lock shop. And for those of you who might not be familiar, Huss, huge Chiefs fan, has basically been taking a victory lap for 2 years. And now, Chiefs fans can't in any way, try to be the Eagles got away with this. Did you see DeAndre Hopkins last night? Did you hear this DeAndre Hopkins take from last night?
That he was in acres of space. That one
that he dropped
and the turf monster got him.
That's kind of when you knew it wasn't going to be their night.
Yeah.
They were already sort of getting crushed, but you're like, man, if they can get one here before the end of the half, maybe it'll make a difference. And then he absolutely blew it on that one. But yeah, here's Hopkins after the game. Let's just listen to this here. Listen to this.
I saw a lot of things in the media about the refs, but obviously what y'all gonna say now about the refs and us when there was a lot of touchy calls? Are y'all gonna report that? Are y'all gonna talk about the refs now?
Did this guy even watch the game he was playing in?
Touchy calls.
What are we talking about here? He screwed up by saying, there's a lot of talk about us and the refs. What are you going to talk about now? Well, now people are going to talk about how you didn't get a bunch of blatant calls and you got crushed. I mean, bad look from a veteran guy who I really like. I've always liked DeAndre Hopkins. But to sit there after, at one point, being down 40-6 in the Super Bowl and be like, a lot of you guys talking about us and the officials. What are you going to say now? Well, I mean, what are you going to say? Like,
Yeah.
Weird. Strange look.
Interesting angle from old D-Hop.
Yeah. That's a strange look, man.
Somebody said the Chiefs are entering their bombers phase.
Uh-oh. Like,
I love it. I'm here for it.
well, Marshall goes, Marsh front runs a bit. And he had for some reason, he had a Patrick Mahomes Kansas City Chiefs hat. I don't know how it got in our house.
Ow.
But he found it. He started wearing it this week. And he wore it to hockey yesterday. And then after when Tam was picking him up and I was going to head over to the party, I said, buddy, I said, you don't really usually cheer for the Chiefs. I'm just going to give you a heads up. I don't know if this is going to go the way you want because he's watched bomber loss after bomber loss after bomber loss. And I texted Tammy in like mid-second quarter. I said, has Marsh started cheering for the Eagles yet? And she's like, he just told me he's thinking about it. He's thinking about flipping over and hopping on the Eagles bandwagon. I was just like, whatever works, man. You're 9. Just do what you need to do. 780-218-9999. Smith TM14 says the Elks are coming for the Bombers' throne. This came up last night.
Attaway.
As we were watching Super Bowl last night at Century Casino.
Talking about CFL.
It was the, what do we call, what's Hernan's name? A wing snubber? What would it, wing snob?
69.
I think there's a store called Wing Snob. I drove by the other day out on Manning there. Anyway, Hernan looked at me last night. He goes, Dusty, if the Elks are in the Grey Cup in Winnipeg, can we all go? And I told him, I said, this was pre-wing, I think. I'd never say yes after the wing incident. But I told him, I said, yeah, we'll all be there. He's like, all of us? I said, yeah. I said, the company will just have to eat up the cost. If the Elks are in a Grey Cup, we are going to be there from 6 in the morning until 6 at night.
All of us? He follows up looking at you.
Yeah, he looked at me. He's like, all of us? I said, well, not EST afternoons.
There's a cutoff, a time cutoff.
Yeah, no, so I think we're probably getting a little bit carried away with Grey Cup talk, but this is the Canadian Football League. Things can swing
you
quickly.
Turn it around fast, yeah.
If Trey Ford doesn't work or if Trey Ford get hurt, you're slotting in Cody Fajardo there. I think they need one more receiver. But there could always be that American receiver that comes out of nowhere.
They have a better quarterback duo than the Bombers currently have. Where's that mid?
The mid is locked away in my drawer over here. But
that was a hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what yeah.
Well, but I think it's close.
Oh,
like as a duo.
Sure.
And Zach's getting along in age.
Zach's done. Strevy isn't even he's a vibe guy. That's it.
So do the Elks have the best 1-2 punch at quarterback in the league?
Better than the Bombers, who have been perennial Grey Cup darlings.
Not to elevate Trey Ford too much, but when Cody Fajardo is your backup, and before he got hurt midway through last season, was the front runner for most outstanding player, I think you have to be pretty happy with the quarterback position here. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Mike, the Michigan fan, says, I am more invested in the EST bond spiel than the Four Nations.
Yeah, Scotty's getting underway.
Yeah, bond spiel's this Saturday. That's a quick turnaround here. We go from Super Bowl party to bond spiel, or the fun spiel, sorry. Fun spiel this week. So that'll be good. 780-218-9999. We'll get a few more text messages, work our way through the show. So keep hammering those in. Lots that we'll sort through. But let's get to Andrew, the accountant, says Hopkins after a fairly called game and getting blown out.
I can't believe it.
The bookbinder of Alberta.
The bookbinder was there last night.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I would love to know. So I sit down there with him and his friend. I was like, I'd love to know what the bookbinder thinks of this Super Bowl. He goes, I'm already planning something for the start of the show tomorrow. So you'll get some bookbinder on the Reed Wilkins show today, probably shortly after 3:00. I know I'll be listening.
His friend worked at the station back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a good time last night.
Yeah.
Great time last night. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun last night. But I'm looking forward to hearing what the bookbinder has in store for us today. Are we changing 100?
Changing 100?
Let's change 200. Hey, it's the morning after the Super Bowl. I know you're mighty loyal, getting a little bit of a break, but I think that's a good thing.
Where are you, Big Uke?
Good thing for this. There's no way Big Uke shows up today.
It's brutal. It's brutal. Uphold my end of the bargain.
All right, let's get to the good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. For Play More Tables and Games, play more tables and games. Make the most of your fan cave. Play more tables and games. That worked out. That timed out really well.
There you go.
God.
The bookbinder of Alberta.
Play more tables and games from ping pong to pool tables, darts to dome hockey. Plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for. Visit Canada's game room experts. Locations in Edmonton and Calgary. And of course online at www.playmoregames.ca. All right, your good from the weekend. Trev, feel free to chime in on this as well. Lieutenant Eric, you're good from the weekend. You had a nice little trip over the weekend too.
Yeah. Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge was they
was
did
good.
it proper. Blake, Renee, the staff, the just the vibes. I mean, that's a place where you want to go have a party. And sometimes you're like, oh, it's a casino. No, that lounge. I've been there for Dunya drafts, Dunya AGMs. Monday, Thursday night football.
We've done morning shows from there.
Morning shows, the kitchen, the bar, the whole bit. Top notch, top drawer, and leaving under my own accord was great. I didn't need to get taken off the floor like last year. Wasn't kicked out, so that was good. Security, they run a tight ship, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They're good. It was a good night. We knew it was going to be. It's Super Bowl. EST does parties right, and this is just a continuation of the thread. So last night,
it was a good time.
Super Bowl,
yeah.
EST, Century Casino, and roll on Bonspiel on Saturday at the Shamrock. Can't wait.
Yeah, that'll be a good time too.
Did I want to have a good time? I think
I spent more time chatting with his brother, actually.
Right. Is that?
But Maddie was betting on the ponies, even though you couldn't see the races there because the Super Bowl's on all the screens.
I think he has a problem.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down with Maddie today. I'm going to say, listen, did you hear about the wing thing with Hernan? What should we do about this? And then when we're talking about that, I'm going to say, I'm worried about your horse racing gambling problem.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Toss it in there.
And can I ride with you on a few of these things? My good from the weekend, first of all, Eagles pass rush without blitzing won them a Super Bowl. I mean, I thought it was brilliant last night. So that's going to be my good. I also have to go to my man, Austin Reeves. With LeBron out, and Luka not yet ready. Luka's going to make his debut tonight, 8:30 against the Jazz. They're going to crush them. I think they're like 13-point favorites. Austin Reeves steps up against the Pacers, who are fourth in the East. He's got no Luka. He's got no LeBron. And Austin Reeves goes off for 45 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Just an absolutely ridiculous basketball game. I was in here on Saturday doing some work, and it was on. I was like, perfect. So I kind of watched the majority of that basketball game Saturday afternoon, doing some work in here, and he was phenomenal. That's why they call him. I think they call him Hillbilly Kobe, and he was on point. He was straight up Mamba-ing the Pacers on Saturday. That was really good. Bad from the weekend. What do you got for your bad?
Bad from the weekend? The Oilers, I guess. Leading in Friday and the weekend. I mean,
what a wild hockey game.
But heading into a tournament now where you don't have Oilers hockey for 2 weeks on a loss, I guess would be bad. It's not quite ugly, and you're right. I mean, a good hockey game, a potential Oilers chance for the season sweep, but also a potential first round playoff matchup, I guess, as we were talking heading into the weekend. So yeah, going into a break on a loss, that's a bad.
Yeah,
it's a bad taste,
Trev, we were talking last week about how I'm not overly concerned about Colorado. But when you see McKinnon and McCarr buzzing the way that they were on Friday night, if it is a first-round matchup, should Oilers fans be concerned, do you think, about the Colorado Avalanche, who are probably still going to add somebody prior to the deadline?
Yeah, I think you should always be concerned when you have the likes of McKinnon and McCarr, just seeing what they can do. And McKinnon recently, I'm seeing stuff, and I don't quite buy into it, but as we've seen, McDavid's kind of slowed down, and usually he'll have some answers to what McKinnon's doing. McKinnon will, have a 4-point night, or he'll just be popping off, but it's like, oh, this is McDavid's league. You haven't really seen that recently. Like, McKinnon is not slowing down from his crazy season he had last year, so he is just unbelievable watching him.
He was
what he's
terrific,
able to,
wasn't he?
Yeah, he's it's going to be so fun to watch him in the Four Nations face-off there, so I'm looking forward to that, but you can only kind of like what you saw for the Oilers a few seasons ago. It was kind of just Connor and Leon. At the end of the day, Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon, they can only do so much. They're not nearly as deep. So I think McDavid and Draisaitl cancel off Makar and McKinnon. And then the Oilers' depth is significantly better, I'd say. So I think you're a little worried, but it's not like the Colorado Avalanche of 2-3 seasons ago. Like, I know last year, this was the team that I was like, no, like, the Oilers still have to get past Nathan McKinnon and the Colorado Avalanche. I think that the Oilers are a better team this year. I think their heads were elsewhere in that game.
Well, it was weird because there were 4 superstars playing in that game.
Yeah.
And McKinnon was great, and Makar was great, and Draisaitl was great. And McDavid was very mid.
Yeah.
Which you don't see very often. I looked at, what was it? McDavid has like 15 points in his last 13 games, and it's like +2.
That's like the start of last
beginning
year's
of
season.
January. So I don't know. I mean, let's see what happens at the Four Nations. Maybe he comes back and lights it up after, but 15 points in 13 games is a very blah stretch for what we expect to see from a guy who's as brilliant as he is. So
for sure. That's how we started the season last year, and then he was able to pull out of it. And, obviously he went from like in 1 week, he went from being 100th in league scoring to like top 10.
It went off.
So it's going to change, and he's still having a pretty good season, but compared to what we're used to seeing, it's not nearly as close. But I really do think his head is elsewhere. He just wants to rep Team Canada right now. I think maybe that's kind of what I'm tied into.
Here's my bad from the weekend, and I hadn't mentioned it yet. I was saving it just for the bad. And I don't know why they kept cutting to the booth with the shot behind them of the street outside. Did you see this? When they would cut into the booth, they had the green screen behind them, and they were putting up a shot.
Hated that, eh?
Well, it made no sense. Just put up your fancy Super Bowl graphics and go from there. Like, you're not fooling anybody. Like, it just, to me, I don't know how a person producing the Super Bowl would be like, you know what's a great idea? Let's put the green screen background a shot of outside. Like, famous street or not famous street, I don't care. That made no sense to me. And maybe it's a TV guy in me, I guess. I'm buddies with some producers. We were texting last night. They didn't really understand why they were doing it either. It seemed so strange to me, unnecessary. So it's been driving me nuts. I haven't talked to it yet, but that was, I don't know. It made no sense.
At least if they're eating like a po' boy sandwich, Yeah.
But they're still just doing the game and not referencing I don't know. It didn't make it. It made no sense to me. And to have that.
Brady should have been having beads on him or something. Tie
into if you're going to do the bit with the thing on back, I mean, hold up an umbrella jokingly one time or something. Like, it didn't make any sense. It seemed completely out of place. So I didn't like that. I had to get to it. I thought that was my bad from the weekend. And the ugly from the weekend. What's your ugly from the weekend, Rick?
The ugly from the weekend was the game.
Yeah, the Super Bowl, yeah.
I said the good was and somebody, here's that text here. We always get this too around Grey Cup time or Super Bowl time. The comparisons roll in and, this is that and that's better than that. But, if you have the money the NFL does, you can make a marbles tournament look outer-worldly. And that's what the NFL continues to do. So even if it's the most terrible game, championship game, all eyes on it, we're all talking about other things. There's prop bets. I get all that. But yeah, it was an ugly game for a championship and over before it started. And credit to the Eagles for making it ugly. I mean, that's great. Defense wins championships, the whole bit there. But again, you and I like to have the bit. If this was the CFL, if this was a storyline of a team going for a three-peat and they got absolutely smoked in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, all we would hear about is how terrible of a product is, shut down the league,
Well,
cetera,
the
et cetera.
Argos ended up rolling in this year's Grey Cup, but it was like very close late into
Hell
the
of a
third
game.
quarter.
Yeah.
And then in the fourth quarter, they hung like 20 on the
Sure,
Bombers.
yeah,
like,
yeah. But it was,
Yeah.
that was a championship game. This was ugly.
A couple of uglies for me. The one was the Lakers rescinding this Mark Williams trade. I was so, remember last week,
You
I was
guys
so
were talking
excited. I was
about
like, they
this.
got their big. And when they did the physical, something came up that they're like, no, we don't want this guy. Take him back. So I don't know how bad he must have chronic feet issues or something, because Shams Charania said it's not his back, which had also been an issue. So something else popped up that was so bad that the Lakers are like, nope, damaged goods. We're going to go into the playoffs with Jackson Hayes as your starting center. Slightly concerning. We'll see how that team looks tonight when they come out. That was one. And then the other one, and you have to be very careful, especially on Twitter, of ever being critical of Evan Bouchard, because the analytics community, which is strong here, will certainly come after you. But that turnover he had against Colorado, this is the thing. And I know last week there was he's fifth in the league in turnover rate in a good way because he has the puck so much.
It's not the number, yeah.
But it's like the big ones like that. And he does many things very, very, very well. This is not a Trey Bouchard. I'm just pointing out that the reason people get pissed off at him was because of that turnover right there on Friday night. Like, you just can't. Even if you don't make many, you can't make those ones. That's the reason that the haters will come out of the woodwork for that play specifically. And when he does a bunch of good things offensively and makes some smart plays defensively, they kind of don't get as much love as they should, because you see these grade A turnovers that end up in the back of the net. You're like, damn, man, just stop doing that. Everybody will love you forever. But that was an ugly one too. That was an ugly one too. Dr. J is in and says, such a predictable move to pass back to 97 on the power play. Just easy pickings if they're all over it. And Pat in the county points out that AD is already hurt. Yeah, you see that? Anthony Davis came out, dropped 24 points in the first half, and then it was announced after the game that he's going to be out 3 weeks. It's just like, welcome to the Anthony Davis experiment. Experience. Welcome to the Anthony Davis experience for Mavs fans. But man, did he look good in the first half. I caught part of that. He was just a beast. But he's a beast who's a Band-Aid, and that's tough. All right, 780-218-9999. It's the Paris Jewelers inbox. Valentine's Day is just around the corner. I mean, if you listen to this station, you know where to go on Valentine's Day. It's parisjewelers.com, and it's all of their locations here. West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, and St. Albert Center online. Darren Dreger is going to join us coming up in less than 5 minutes. We will get his thoughts on the upcoming Four Nations. No trade freeze here, so will we see GMs wheeling and dealing? Or will the NHL say, hey, don't take the spotlight off of Four Nations. Work on your deals. We're not announcing them till later on, but they're still going to leak. So anyway, we'll get into that. What type of expectations does he have for Connor McDavid? Is that what it's like?
Well, all the GMs are there, and they're going to be eyeing each other.
They're standing around the perimeter.
Who makes the move? Does anybody make a move, right?
We'll see. Does Stan Bowman make the move? Hey, who knows?
Does it move?
We'll get into that with Darren Dreger coming up for Pro-Am Sports. We got a sports update right now for Nisku Glass. Awesome seeing the Nisku Glass crew at the Century Casino last night. Looked like they were having a good time as well. Let's get the sports update for Nisku Glass. Darren Dreger on the other side here.
Philadelphia Eagles winning their second Super Bowl in franchise history, 40-22 in Super Bowl 59 over the Chiefs, denying Kansas City their three-peat. Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks on the day. The Four Nations face-off will get underway Wednesday night when Canada takes on Sweden. Pair of games in the NHL yesterday, Tampa holding off Montreal 5-3 and Utah 5-4 shootout winners over Washington. Rockets topping the Raptors 94-87 in NBA action. 10 games around the league tonight, including the Lakers hosting the Jazz. And Thomas Detry shot a 665 final round as he captures the Phoenix Open for his first PGA Tour victory. Sports update brought to you by Nisku Glass. We want to thank EST and all the listeners and viewers. What better way than to give them a deal? Mention Edmonton Sports Talk or present your Nasty Club membership for a 10% discount on windshields, glass, or any of your window and door orders. Call us today to get that ugly broken windshield replaced or to start planning your winter and spring renovation projects now.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tati and Eric and all at the back end. Like Brzezinski and Noodles, Captain Contagion. If it's a bummer to go back to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday night day. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number one in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some antics and we wanna hear Renee. Wanna hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away. Beat up the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macramel, Rapaport, Dreger and Tanier. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. I'll put him given person. Does he go for? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
7:03 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here today. The Nielson Show today and every day brought to you by great partners out at South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. If you're looking for a new pickup truck, they've got you covered out there. Great deals on some demos. They've got them all available at their website, www.southfortchev.com, and they've got those 2025 tracks. I believe they still have a few available. $148 bi-weekly for a brand new ride. 780-218-9999. G from South YEG says, a little late to the conversation, but did Dusty lick off the salt and pepper first and then offer the chicken wing to Hernan? No, he didn't take the wing that I offered him, then he ate somebody else's wing, the exact same wing. We're going to get into it when Hernan joins us. One of the things to happen at the Super Bowl party last night. Blowout game, though. We'll get Mike Tanier is going to join us. He was at the Super Bowl. He's going to pop by around 7:30 today. We'll get into the fan zone, asking you your expectations for McDavid at Four Nations. We'll take a look at some of the betting odds with our partners over at CoolBet as well. But Darren Dreger, Hockey Insider today, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. Check out their upcoming private signings with Oilers' Brett Kulak, Matthias Janmark, and Adam Henrique. Submit your own items or select from theirs. Located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail on 128th Ave or online at proamsports.ca. Jack from Pro-Am sent me these liners at like 5:40 this morning. Do you think he was already up or was it a scheduled email? We'll never know. That's an early start, though, if he's not like on the air. I don't know why you'd be up so early, but
maybe like me, he was partying for Super Bowl.
Maybe
tucked into bed at 9 o'clock like some other people.
maybe that's what it was. All right, let's bring in Darren Dreger this morning for Pro-Am Sports. Dregs, we got to start with the Super Bowl. I mean, an all-time blowout, and the Eagles come away with the dub. What'd you think of the game?
Not much. I mean, from a competitive standpoint, there wasn't a whole lot to be entertained or excited by, and actually more shocked than anything, right? I did feel, and I'm far from an expert when it comes to football or the National Football League or the Super Bowl, but Philadelphia had the edge for me going into this one, but I was interested and intrigued by the history on the line with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm a big fan of Andy Reid. And, of course, you've got the story of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and go down the list and all that. Who would have predicted that it was going to be a whitewash like that? I mean, they just didn't have an answer, in every aspect of the game. So everything about it was disappointing, including the halftime show. And it's another reason why I never watch halftime shows. And all my buddies are up north at a cottage. Yeah, I couldn't go this weekend, so I stayed home. So I watched the Super Bowl in essence by myself. So here I am. I'm watching the halftime. I'm like, what are we watching here? And I muted it and got up and did something until the third quarter started.
We were having a Super Bowl party at a casino, and that's when I went out to the tables and played for a little bit.
We usually have a Ryan Rashog Monday morning breakdown of the Super Bowl halftime show. He's not joining us today, but I think you filled the booth.
I think you've kind of filled the booth pretty well. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Shoggy would have said the exact same thing. Darren Dreger joins us on the show this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. He's brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Four Nations, here we go. It seemed like the story over the weekend was guys who weren't going to be there, obviously, with Quinn Hughes. The Finnish blue line has taken an absolute beating. It's almost like we just need to sort of drop the puck of this tournament, and then the momentum will start to build, right?
Yeah, I think so. And unfortunately, you're talking about significant names here from, Team Canada, Team USA, Quinn Hughes having a bow out. That's a real tough one. And, I know the Hughes family well. Known him for a long, long time. And I saw our colleague Rick Dollywall tweet a quote from Pat Brasano, represents Quinn, and just said, look, he's never quit on anything in his life. And, to me, as I'm reading that, and I know Quinn, and I know how much he loves to compete, right? And especially when he's draped in the American flag. This would be a significant blow for him, but he's recognizing that, the final leg of the regular season for the Vancouver Canucks is huge, and it's going to position them for, number one, trying to lock down that playoff spot. And then, let's see what happens with Vancouver. We know they're in the market for a center between now and the trade deadline, but his focus is where it needs to be. And that's with the Canucks and this playoff push. And then you flip over to Team Canada. I wasn't surprised because the word that we were getting on Sidney Crosby was that there was progress being made. So then to learn and report that, he made his way to Montreal and that Canadian management is looking forward to the outcome of him skating with the group, or however they're going to evaluate today, I don't know. But they've got a tough call to make by 5:00 Eastern today, because that's the final roster.
That's when you got to lock it in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you've got to lock it in. So what do you do there? And I think you leave it entirely up to Sid, right? I think we could all envision, okay, well, if it's worst case that you've got to give Crosby game one off and then he's set for the weekend, okay, well, I think we could live with that. But then you've got a healthy Mark Scheifele of the Winnipeg Jets, sitting there waiting. So, it'll come down to Sid and how he feels. But the fact that he feels strong enough to make the trek to Montreal and give it one more go, at least one more go, I think that bodes well for him participating. But those are big name guys, right? I mean, with all due respect to the Finnish guys, there's some interesting names who unfortunately aren't going to participate. But when you're talking about Quinn Hughes, you're talking about Sidney Crosby. Those are big holes to fill for Canada and for Team USA.
Yeah, and the problem for Finland is that the blue line was already the weakest element of that roster. Yeah, now they take a hit. So I mean, it's going to be tough for them. Connor McDavid has, and we saw it on Friday night. I mean, Colorado, Edmonton, McKinnon was spectacular. Makar was excellent. Draisaitl's great season continued. And McDavid just didn't seem to be at that level. He's got 15 points in his last 13 games. The team has obviously been going through some sickness over the last couple of weeks, and that probably ties into it. But what type of expectations do you think we should have for McDavid getting this chance to play with these guys for this country for essentially his first time in his prime?
Well, that's going to be what's interesting, right? The sky here clearly is the limit, and how do you put a level of expectation on McDavid? You can't, because we've seen him electrify. We've seen him do things that just aren't human from a hockey perspective. But now you've got to share that sheet of ice and one puck with future Hall of Famers across the board. So it is going to be interesting. I think that this is going to be a formidable challenge for all the coaches, not just John Cooper and Team Canada, but what is the role in such a short window? We had Mike Keenan on the Rain Dregs podcast last Thursday, and he talked about a couple of things. Now, keep in mind, when they were winning Canada Cups in 1987, it was during the off season, so they had unlimited time to prepare for that from a coaching, from a mental perspective, and guys weren't diving out of that tournament and right back into the regular season of the National Hockey League. So from a coaching perspective, You know, it's not as simple as saying, okay, Connor, here's what you're lining up with. Go and do your thing. No, I mean, there's got to be some technical work that's applied in all of this. You know, what sort of matchups do you expect to see against the other three countries and all of that? So I expect the best from Connor McDavid. I assume he's healthy. I did hear that, you know, flu bug kind of made its way and has for the last couple of weeks through the National Hockey League. But how can you not expect greatness when you put a player of that significance out there with some of the best on the planet? I think it's going to be good.
Darren, what do you expect maybe off the ice during this tournament? Do we expect a gentleman's agreement, I guess, between GMs and kind of a standing pat? Obviously some chatting, but I mean, you got your ear to the ground. What do you think is going to kind of transpire, if anything at all, during this tournament off the ice?
Well, when you say gentleman's agreement, really what you mean is Commissioner Bettman saying do not make a trade of any significance unless you cannot avoid it, especially on game days. And I mean, we joke about that, and I don't know how strong the Commissioner's office would ever apply that. You know, look, I mean, you never want to upstage the event, but as we've shared before and talked about, I mean, hey, you know, the Ottawa Senators made the Linus Ullmark trade on Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final last year. So, I mean, all bets are off when you're trying to make a significant add and you're trying to improve your roster. And there is that sense around the league that, and I don't want to use the word frenzy because I don't want to set us up for disappointment here, but the potential of that is certainly in play when the Four Nations ends. And the reason that there's a higher level of potential is because of what we already saw in some of the significant trades that went down leading up to the start of this event. So it does make sense that there will be a heightened level of urgency. And not every general manager, not every player, not every coach is involved in the Four Nations. And some of these guys, players, of course, are enjoying some fun in the sun and a little bit of downtime to recharge at this point of the regular season. But most of the general managers, it is business as usual, no matter where their locale is. So I'd be surprised if there's anything that matters on the trade front, but there'll be a ton of back and forth. There'll be lots of conversation, no doubt about that.
Dregs, as always, man, we really appreciate the time. Enjoy this first week of the Four Nations, and we'll set up the final couple round robin games, and I guess the final next week.
Yeah, you bet, fellas. You too. Enjoy it.
There you go. That's Darren Dreger, Ray and Dregs podcast, and of course, TSN Hockey Insider as well. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine massive trade going down like next Wednesday before
that's
the final?
NHL.
Well, and that's the thing.
Whenever you okay, it's even the Ranton and like a Friday afternoon, late Friday evening. I mean, they do have a reputation of kind of doing things sometimes back asswards.
Well, and they like the other thing is these guys can try to make a deal and then say, okay, but we can't say anything. But Dregs is going to get it, or LeBron's going to get it, or one of these guys is going to get it, and it's just going to pop up. So maybe there will be some sort of decent sized trade in the next 2 weeks. I think. Give it to us. Why not? 780-218-9999. RCN over in the nasty chat this morning. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us. It's the morning after Super Bowl. Some of us grinding a little bit harder than others today. And we are 42 likes away from changing 200. So hammer the thumbs up for us over there. RCN saying, guys, I don't want August hockey, but maybe we could do this in December instead of February. Yeah, I don't know where I come out on the timing of this thing. I just want to, I just want to see it and then evaluate it after. Like, I don't want to jump to any conclusions here before we get going. I mean, maybe January. Maybe move it ahead a month. Maybe make it like a Spengler type of Christmas tournament. And you do it like December 27th to December 31st, and then the final games. No, they'll never do that because they would compete with World Juniors. No chance of that happening. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is the best time to do it because it's when you're going to usually do your All-Star break.
Would you rather an All-Star game?
No.
Exactly. That's the question you got to ask yourself during this whole exercise.
Definitely don't want the All-Star game. For those of you arguing with each other over the nasty chat, let's keep it respectable over there. I mean, have your opinions, but let's not act like a bunch of idiots. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in right now. We're going to get to the Four Nations odds with our partners over at Coolbet as well. It sucks to see Quinn Hughes out of this tournament. Obviously, good news, I guess, for Team Canada. Drew Doughty ends up sliding in, taking Alex Petrangelo's spot. So Drew Doughty gets his wish, gets to throw on that Canadian jersey one more time. Jason over in the chat says, August, September, not during the regular season, also gives injured players time to get healthy. Yeah, you know what? You could roll out an early September tournament. Right before preseason gets started. Get these guys ramped up a little bit. But then would the concern then be like, oh, well, they haven't done much in the summer. They're going to get hurt. I mean, guys this is what happens. Somebody's going to get hurt over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the whole thing's going to be questioned.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's going to happen. You just cross your fingers. You hope it's not Connor McDavid. Simple as that.
Or Matthias Ekholm.
Or Matthias Ekholm. Yes,
Quick
that would
to forget.
be,
It's more than Canada, right? Like that team's Sweden.
Sweden might win this thing by only allowing like 2 goals.
Why not?
You know how Sweden?
Why not Sweden?
Sweden can operate at that level. Fergie says, I feel great today. And you reply in the chat, that's because you went home at 5.
You can't. I thought we were having a Super Bowl party last night. And here I'm the only one with a headache and still slightly inebriated. Everybody's like, oh, this is great. I feel well rested. And,
The key of the Super Bowl party was not to be drunk on Monday morning. It was like to have a good time.
I mean, judging by last year's affair,
I was at the casino for
carry on.
I was at the casino for 7 hours.
You can't come in the chat today and say, though, and I feel great.
I mean, it's bad by Fergie.
When you
it's bad
left
by
after
Fergie.
the first quarter. I mean, I get it. You have a significant other, but I mean, please.
Northside Sandwich is in. It says the pro of February is that the players are in midseason form. So they're already kind of ramped up. I mean, I don't know. I don't know when I want to see the bad. I want to see Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Cale Makar in a power play.
Healthy.
Is that too much to ask?
Healthy.
That's what I want to see. Put those guys on a power play. Now, who's the 5th guy, though? You got Makar, you got McKinnon, you got McDavid, you got Sid. Who's the 5th guy on that power play? It probably doesn't matter. I mean, there should be enough talent there that you don't need a 5th guy when you got those 4 guys on the ice. But yeah, who would you like to see be the 5th guy? Trev, do you think they put that power play together? There's no way you get to coach these guys and you're not putting Makar, McDavid, McKinnon, and Crosby on a power play together.
Yeah, no. That's like if they don't do that, if Cooper decides not to go that route, like he's just robbing fans, Canadians, like of history, like witnessing some of the greatest. And like I know what Draisaitl said was kind of silly, and the guys were making fun of it. Like, he said like, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'll be tuning in. It's gonna be some of the best hockey ever. And I don't believe that's necessarily true, but I think what he's meaning at times when you have, I think he's most skilled is what he meant. Like, because you see those guys getting out on the power play. Like, I don't know anything that comes close to that. I know some people will refer back to the 80s and 90s and whatnot, but for modern hockey, we haven't seen anything like that. Even when it was 2014 Sochi, you had Crosby out there, but I mean, you didn't have Makar, you didn't have McKinnon, you didn't have McDavid. Yeah. So, yeah, like they're definitely going to be out there. As for the 5th, maybe Stone, net front presence guy, or
a lot of people are saying Braden Point.
Braden Point is what I was
Sam Reinhart, Georgia Satellite throwing Mitchie Marner out there as well. Ernie is in and says, who plays 3-on-3 overtime for Canada? Well,
it's McKinnon, McDavid,
and Makar. Like,
that's speed.
That is the best possible.
That's what you'd pick.
Well, I mean, but I'm thinking like. In the league,
league,
nothing against Leon. I think he's been the best player in the league, best player in the world this season. But in overtime, with the wheels of McKinnon, McDavid, and Makar, what's that? Like the old bite the fist meme, man. Like that would be crazy.
Absolutely.
Nas26 says they'll have 2 power plays: Crosby, Marner, Reinhart, maybe on the 2nd power play. All I know is that I got to see that power play. Like,
yes,
when those guys come over the boards together in the power play for the first time, like, to be honest with you, I view that as hockey history.
It is.
Like, you get to see they're all Hall of Famers. They're all heading to the Hall, and you get to see them on a power play together for the first time. Don't miss that moment. I mean, that's going to be pretty good. JCD780 says, what is the max number of games a team can play? 4. That's it. It's a round robin, and then one plays 2, I think.
There's four nations.
Is that not all it is? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I think the max games you can play is 4 over 2 weeks. It's not going to be a strenuous haul. Like going down to Boston next Monday morning, they play 2 games in Boston on Monday, and then the finals on Thursday. So it's not like they're rolling out, playing 3 in 5 days or something like that. 780-218-9999. Baggio is in. It says, I didn't like the Four Nations because it's a big year for the Oilers, and my interest is 100% with them. The worry if McDavid or Ekholm gets hurt does scare me. If I was a non-playoff team, I would welcome this tourney big time. So, yeah, he's obviously a little bit concerned. A little bit concerned about what could happen here. But, I mean, guys can get hurt in practice, for goodness sake. So, we'll see. Let's take a look at the odds for this, actually. Let's dive into our Cool Bet segment today. I wonder how Cool Bet did. We'll find out on the Lock Shop today where the money was coming in on the Chiefs or the Eagles. Four Nations face-offs right near the top of the list right now. There's tons of different things you can look at. So the top goal scorer in the tournament, there's a bunch of different odds we can look at. This is fun. The top goal scorer in the tournament, Austin Matthews plus 750, Sam Reinhart 9-1, McDavid plus 1,000, McKinnon plus 1,000, Braden Point. I'd probably get on McKinnon here at 10-1. I think McKinnon at 10-1 to lead the tournament. Well, no, maybe not. Reinhart has the best Canadian odds at 9-1. Top goal scorer for Finland. They got point. Oh, boy. They've got goals in the tournament numbers. Connor McDavid's sitting at 2, not a 2.5. So if he scores 2, you would push. If he scores 3, it's plus 100. That's an interesting number. What's Sidney Crosby? 1.5. Matthews has got to be 2.5, I would think. Yeah, it's 2.5. So yeah, for those of you who like to bet on hockey, Four Nations is still going to provide that over the next little while.
Sweden plus 425 to take it all. I mean,
as you know, I pretend to have Finnish heritage.
Yeah, but
I'm not betting on Finland at plus 750 in this thing. Sweden at plus 425 is probably the best value on the board.
And you mentioned the amount of games. I mean, all it takes is a bad night here or there.
Yeah, I mean,
like this.
Yeah,
you could even go with your heritage.
Could end
here.
very quickly. Yeah. Connor McDavid, top point scorer, 6-1. McKinnon 9-1. Matthews 15-1. Eichel 15-1. Hughes 15-1. Makar 16-1. Kachuk 17-1. Barkov 18-1, and Rantanen 20-1. I mean, with the way McDavid's been playing lately, I think McKinnon at 9-1 is probably the best value on that board as opposed to Connor at 6-1. And then they've got the starting goaltender odds for the U.S., for Sweden, and for Finland. Connor Hellebuck minus 1,000. I think last week that was like minus 4 something. So it's moved significantly. Of course, he's going to start. Philip Gustafsson's minus 222 to start game 1 for Sweden, and UC Saros minus 667. So some pretty heavy favorites on that front as well. I think my favorite bet here would be Nathan McKinnon to lead the tournament in points at 9-1. I think that's probably the Four Nation face-off future that you're going to want to get on today. Nathan McKinnon, top point scorer at the event, 9-1.
And Sweden plus 425.
And you're sprinkling Sweden at plus 425.
Go
just
Echo.
In case.
Go Arvidsson.
Just in case. Guys, can you imagine if the players play the Four Nations with the same intensity as an all-star game? That would be a huge backfire. I don't see it happening, but could you imagine? Mike, all I can say to this, Mike, is
I can't believe it.
I don't think you can put on a Canadian jersey and go through the motions. Regardless of what we think of this tournament, Chris Johnston did say on the show on Friday in his Pro-Am segment, he did say that the players are actually pretty fired up for this. Like some of the media and the fans are like, blah, blah, blah. But he said the players are actually very fired up for this. So I don't see Connor McDavid putting on a Team Canada jersey, sitting next to Nathan McKinnon and Sidney Crosby and being like, I'm going to try to Michigan 9 times. Like I don't see a world where that happens. And I think once you watch Team Canada play one game, you will be fully invested in this event.
It's not like donning that Western Conference jersey.
Yeah, it's a lot
Doesn't
different.
got the same pop.
It's a lot different than being drafted by the Hughes brothers. You know, there's more here. Good time Charlie texts and says, I just want to see Calgary fans in a bar cheering for McDavid. That would be kind of,
and you'll get
kind
it
of weird.
with the Four Nations. That's the beauty of it all.
It's gonna change things.
Everybody will come together.
Todd Gack is in and says, is it weird that I don't want to share McDavid with the rest of the country?
Well, of course.
Like you don't want Canadians cheering for Connor McDavid because he's yours.
Going for a cup right now.
Because he's yours. Nas 26 to say Makar is going to lead the tournament in points. That would be, you know what? What's that number? 16-1. She's a juicy one, as they like to say in the biz. Second half of the second hour today, Mike Tanier is going to join us to recap the Super Bowl. Eagles, dominant performance, start to finish. Defensively, they were the better team coming into this game, and they definitely showed it. Jalen Hurts, I think his QBR was like 75.4. Mahomes' was 11. Like, he drastically outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes now has multiple Super Bowl losses, which means he could never, ever, 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 ever be the GOAT.
Who does he think he is? Zach Collaros?
No Zach Collaros sighting in the box either. Disappointing.
Take the under.
So what does this do for Mahomes' legacy? It's still relatively early-ish in what's probably going to be a very long career. We'll get into that with Mike Tanier when he popped by just after 7:30 today for Pro-Am Sports. And then on the Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca, you watched McDavid for the last month. What are you expecting him to do at the Four Nations? Like, does he just come out and just show the entire world that, hey, yeah, like McDavid or McKinnon, McCarr, like these guys are amazing, but I'm Connor freaking McDavid? Or does he just kind of go there and be one of the guys? Like, what are you expecting? I know what you're hoping for. You're hoping that, in a perfect world, you're hoping they win. We got to confirm. Are they getting medals here or is it a trophy? What is being rewarded to these guys? What are they getting? I still don't know. Like, I don't know if it's out there. It must be out there somewhere. Anyway, you want to see him win and come back healthy, but you really just want to see him come back healthy.
Gold, silver, bronze, and then that fourth nation.
Like, there's no way you can give out a bronze medal in a 4-team tournament when you're going to win a bronze for playing 3 round robin games.
I really hope so.
There's no way. There's money involved. But you can't.
There's always money involved.
You can't have them line up on the blue line and go along and give them a fat stack of hundies. Like, that can't.
That'd be something. Just cash.
Just cash.
Straight cash. Well,
it's what it's about.
Hey.
It's what it's about.
At least you're being honest.
All right, if anybody knows the answer of what these guys are actually trying to win.
There will be a trophy for the tournament champion.
Okay. So no medals.
Nope.
But who gets
a trophy?
It resides
Do they each
in
get a day with
country?
it?
Yeah. Like, how does that?
I think if Canada wins it, we should put it smack dab in the middle of the country, wherever that mark is.
The hub.
Where is that? Like somewhere in eastern Manitoba? Like, there's got to be where is the exact middle point of this country? That's where we should put the trophy if we win it.
Yeah.
780-218-9999. This is a great text. Hey guys, Cheryl and Glenn saying hi from Mazatlan. Super Bowl party had about 400 people there, mostly Philly fans. Great time, great food. Peace out. That's good. Glenn and Cheryl, thanks for checking in.
See you in the tailgate.
Yeah, that'll be that's really exciting. Lucas says, guys, I lost a fortune on the lack of Zach Collaros sightings.
Went hard on it.
He would have had to have gone to like a local bookie to lay those bets down. I didn't think you were finding those anywhere.
Us is paying out.
Yeah. All right, we have a Super Bowl to recap. Mike Tanier on the other side. We're going to get to a sports update right now.
If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it.
The gun on it slightly. We're going to get to it for Park Mazda. Calm down, Park Mazda guy. Let's get to the update with LT. Pache, Manitoba. the middle of Canada.
Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions as the Eagles deny the Chiefs the three-peat 40-22. Your final of Super Bowl 59 for the Eagles. It's the second Super Bowl in franchise history. Four Nations face-off gets underway Wednesday night when Canada takes on Sweden. NHL schedule wrapping up yesterday as Tampa would hold off the Habs 5-3 and Utah 5-4 winners in a shootout over the Capitals. Rockets defeat the Raptors 90-47 in NBA action. 10 games around the association tonight, including the Lakers at home to the Jazz. And Thomas Detry, the Belgian, shot a 665 final round, capturing the Phoenix Open for his first PGA Tour victory. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he's glad he got a room last night at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button. Thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The bookbinder of Alberta.
I can't believe it!
Makes my day.
You just made the list! Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
7:33 on the Nielson Show, the morning after a straight-up, old-fashioned, bare-butt spanking. Jalen Hurts took out the wooden spoon on the Kansas City Chiefs last night. Like, he absolutely picked them apart. Couple passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown as well, over 70 yards, gets the Super Bowl MVP. And Patrick Mahomes, well, I don't know what you're supposed to say about that. So we'll dive into that conversation. We do have the Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca coming up as well. From the Too Deep Zone right now, it is Mike Tanier, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. Check out the collection from Tokens and Icons, which transform NFL, NHL, MLB game-used items into wallets, bottle openers, and cufflinks. Located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave, or online at proamsports.ca. All right, Mike. Well, we could see the Eagles winning the game, but 40-6 at one point. What is it like being a guy from Philly right now?
I haven't slept.
Either is my co-host.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
He'll be back at some point.
No. I'm from the Philly suburbs. We went out into the streets a little bit afterwards. Hey, okay, he's back. Absolute euphoria around here. I was torn as to whether to finish my article or go to a local bar. I went to the local bar and then finished my article. So you can check it out in the Too Deep Zone. The over-under on typos is about 7.5. And it's a little homery. It may not be the most fair and balanced column, but
you can do that, Mike. You can do that, right?
What are you supposed to be balanced about the Chiefs? They stunk. They got destroyed, like you said. They got the wooden spoon taken out on them. It was a beatdown, and Philly is ecstatic.
And they should be. I know there's a lot of pieces to the victory for the Eagles, but their ability to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes without blitzing in the first half, I thought really set the tone for the entire game. Did it not?
That's exactly it. In fact, I'm doing my rewatch right now, and there's a play where the Chiefs keep 7 blockers in. There's a play where Travis Kelce and Isaiah Pacheco are trying to block Josh Sweat, and the other 5 linemen are trying to block the other 3 guys. It's 7 against 4. The Eagles win it. The Eagles destroy it. 2 guys combined for a sack on Patrick Mahomes. When that is happening consistently, all the magic in the world, all the brilliance of the world isn't going to save a quarterback in an offense. They're just simply getting whooped up front, and there's nothing they can do.
I thought it was interesting. Like, Saquon averaged just over 2 yards per carry, but they still gave him the ball like 25, 26 times. I thought it was important for Jalen Hurts for them to stay committed to Saquon, even though it really wasn't working, because it really set up the rest of the offense, didn't it?
It absolutely did, and the Chiefs were doing an outstanding job stopping the run. But I think that was that there was a price for that, and guys are triggering against the run, and they're losing one-on-one matchups and coverage. But yeah, the Eagles stayed dedicated to that. They got plays here and there. You know, on 2nd and 1, Barkley would get them 4 yards. There were a couple of first downs where he got them 5 or 6 yards. There were a couple of times where he got stuffed. There was none of that 60-yard run stuff, but ultimately the Eagles were able to counterpunch with their passing game, something that we really didn't see in the second half of the year, but we saw a lot in 23 and 22, so we shouldn't have been that surprised.
Mike, second Super Bowl in Eagles franchise history, obviously the Chiefs getting denied the three-peat. But what do you see as, I mean, you do a lot of running, you follow the game very, very close. How do you see this Super Bowl being remembered in terms of legacies? And we all hear about the three-peat, but you know, Fangio, Mahomes was 8-0 against Fangio's defense going into this. Like how are we going to remember this one outside from just denying the Chiefs the three-peat? For Mahomes' legacy, for Andy Reid, who's now 3-3 in Super Bowls, like how does this one kind of translate and hold its place in time?
Like the Chiefs are the team of this decade. They're going to be back. They're great. They're going to be remembered forever. They have 3 Super Bowls in the last 6 years, including a pair of losses. That's an accomplishment that you look historically, puts them on a shelf with a handful of teams. It's what this does for this Eagles team, where there's a big difference between, say, going 0-2 in Super Bowls, and then you're in that list with teams like the Bills in the 90s, et cetera, and going 1-1 in Super Bowls, which demonstrate that, and really 2-1 when you go back to the one in 2017, demonstrate the consistency of the success of the organization. The Eagles are one of the great NFL franchises of the 21st century. If you look at their record, they're now 2-2 in Super Bowls. How many teams can say they've been to 4 Super Bowls in the last 22 years, 25 years now? The Eagles are it, and they're a team that could be back because you can look now at Hurts, you look at Brown, you look at their defense, you look at Saquon, and you say, this changes who they are from like a historic perspective as well.
When you look at Patrick Mahomes on the other side of this, now 3-2 in Super Bowls, there was a lot of conversation. He had to sit down, chat with Brady, where they just sort of pumped each other up for a little bit, and then that was the end of it. Yo, you're great. No, I'm great. You're great too. I thought that was a little weird. But like going into that game, people were obviously starting to put him in a conversation around the greatest of all time. At one point, before the meaningless touchdowns later in the game, in his 5 Super Bowls, he had 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. What does last night mean for Patrick Mahomes? And why did he have such a hard time with the Eagles making some big defensive plays?
First of all, I think Serena Williams should have crashed that Brady Mahomes congratulatory fest. Hey guys, you won account championships? How we doing? Yeah. She should have wobbed in there. Since she was hanging around anyway, had nothing better to do but to do a little dancing at halftime. I believe Brady was 3-2 in Super Bowls at one point, including.
And he tacked on 4 more.
And then tacked on 4 more, including 2 of them where the defense of the Giants just sort of obliterated everything he was trying to do and wound up being bad games where he took safeties and things like that. Mahomes is 30, 31. We got another decade of this guy, folks. So the idea that maybe he's not on pedestal prime, yet doesn't mean he's not on pedestal right below prime and can still get back there. But as we were saying earlier, pressure from the front 4, defense. The Eagles cornerbacks were just matching up against the wide receivers of the Chiefs. So what's that leave? That leaves Kelce out there trying to run around in the middle. He's not the player he used to be. A lot of times there were 2 Eagles defenders on him. He's dropping passes. He's looking creaky, and the game gets out of hand quickly.
Do you think that's the last we've seen of Travis Kelce? Is this how he goes out, or does he run it back next year?
If I were the Chiefs, I would look long and hard at his cap number. If I was Kelce, I'd look long and hard at how this entire season played out and how he looked at different times for the season. Yes, phenomenal game against the Texans. He does make 1 or 2 plays in this game. He's also got a drop in this game. He's missing blocks, etc. I think he's got to talk to his brother and say, are we going to do this, or are we going to be like the property brothers of the NFL?
Yeah.
Are we going to be? Are we going to enjoy this level of retirement? Maybe he needs to talk to Gronk too, because Gronk retires before he gets himself too beat up. Seems to be having fun.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
I'm the Chiefs. I'm looking at it the same way. It's like maybe we can save some money and flip the script now and get ahead of some potential problems that might hit us in 25 or 26.
Did you see DeAndre Hopkins his post game last night when he said lots of talk about the officials with us, but now there's some touchy calls. I'm like, Wait a second. No, this is like, that was a bad look for D-Hop. I was very surprised.
Yeah. You know, when the Titans want to trade you in midseason, it's not a good sign for where your career is, D-Hop. I love D-Hop. I mean, he's had some phenomenal years. He had frustrating years with some very bad organizations along the way.
When he was awesome.
No one wants to hear No one wants to hear the Chiefs complain about refs, especially when they just got beat by, well, it was only 18 points because of late touchdowns. They got beat by 30. You got beat by 30. Shut up about the refs.
Hey, how much of a legend? I saw this tweet last night. Nick Foles tweeting.
Yeah.
It's really cool that Tom Brady got to be there for the Eagles' 2 Super Bowl wins. He might be a good luck charm. Have a great night. How much of a legend is Nick Foles in Philadelphia?
Philly loves Nick Foles. And remember, this dude is a reverend. This dude is a Christian pastor now. That's what he does. He has his, and he's out there scoring points against Tom Brady. It's amazing. It's funny. It's perfect. It's all in good fun, obviously, with him. But like, he remains a legend. There's going to be a parade in a couple days. I guarantee you, Nick Foles will be on some float somewhere. That parade. Carson Wentz won't. Nick Foles will be.
Yeah. I really don't want to wrap up the season in this fashion, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh, no. Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah, actually, it was both Debo and Rodgers. I know. I'm sorry. First of all, what do you think happens with Debo? Let's go there before. Of course, the season's going to wrap up with what happens with Aaron Rodgers question. But what do you think happens with Debo? Is there a game there still?
I love the idea of both of them being on the same team. That would be a perfect.
The Browns.
I don't know what Debo has left and what Debo offers a conventional offense at this point. Now, there are a lot of teams that run Shanahan-like offenses who can say we can get this guy over the middle and get him the ball in space and let him create. He's on the downside of the career. He is a human headache. I don't know what the 49ers think they're going to get from him in compensation. I expect them to get lowballed by teams like, say, the Jaguars that are running a similar system to them.
All right, and then what happens with Aaron Rodgers?
Rodgers is going to announce sometime in the next couple of weeks that he's going off into the Tibetan yurts or somewhere in the Himalayas, like Rambo, to discover enlightenment and peace, because he won't be able to handle the fact that he's going to be on a free agent list with Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold is going to get more attention. He can see it coming. He can smell it coming. So he's going to have to do the you don't fire me, I quit. I broke up with you first. He's going to have to do that with the NFL right now. And we're going to see it very soon. And it's going to be really stupid.
Mike, as always, man, we love having you on throughout the season. I'm sure we'll get some draft and free agency news as a reason to catch back up with you again. But obviously, we appreciate the time. And where can people find your work? One more time.
You can find me at the 2 Deep Zone Substack at miketanier.substack.com.
We appreciate it, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Take care, and I'm going to enjoy my week.
Yes, there he is. Mike Tanier is going to enjoy his week.
Man.
And if he's enjoying his week, then we're going to enjoy our week. Aaron Rodgers. 2 things. One.
I do like the 7 Years in Tibet, the sequel.
Yeah. Does anybody have a clue where Aaron Rodgers would pop up next? For 2 questions. One, on the field. Which team do you think is in a spot to say, yes, let's do it with Aaron Rodgers? 4-time MVP, I think. And then 2, if this is the end for Aaron Rodgers, what does that guy do post-career? Like, because he's such a magnet for conversation, I'm sure there will be TV offers, which he always is criticizing those guys. So I don't see him flipping to the dark side.
The mainstream.
However, if there's a ton of money there, he might be like, does he start co-hosting with McAfee all the time?
Yeah.
Does he just go away and live his life in the mountains and live his life here and live his life? I'm trying to figure out
the Johnny Taves path.
We'll really know the real Aaron Rodgers when he's out of the spotlight. We'll see if he truly wanted to be out of the spotlight or if he finds a way to make the spotlight even brighter on him. I don't know which way it's going to go.
I think he's got an addiction to it and he doesn't even know it yet, right? Like he loves it. He loves it.
Like, can Aaron Rodgers live a life where for a month nobody talks about him and he just gets like he's like Tom Green and he buys a farm in Canada and just goes up and starts a horse farm?
Not a chance. Somebody
I don't
says
see that happen.
Ernie says Aaron Rodgers to Winnipeg, the heir apparent to Zach Collaros.
That's disrespectful to Terry Wilson.
He won't be able to avoid it. He will be doing something. But what is it? That's the question.
Sheldon S. over in the chat, in the nasty chat, says, sadly, my Raiders. Oh, boy.
Yeah, Minnesota pops up in the chat as well, just like Favre, Bergie says.
I can't do the Minnesota thing. I mean, follow that path, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Johnny Accountant says, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback for your New York Giants. Jeez. I don't know. Jason saying Raiders probably. 780-218-9999.
Maybe he drives a race car.
That's what he does next?
Yeah, NASCAR. He'll do whatever he wants. He's Aaron Rodgers, for crying out loud.
Cash in the chat says Century Casino. Does Century Casino have Cash's passport, keys, and jacket? Did he leave them all there last night?
Uh-oh.
No, they'll still have them. Tango says Rodgers goes to the Canadian Football League. Yeah. Hula Boy Steve says Rodgers will try and buy a pro sports franchise. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't know what this guy's going to do.
Changing 200.
It's not going to be going off, though, and we never hear from him.
No, I don't think so. I think he's become too much of it.
Yeah. He loves it, too.
Maybe it is just weekly with McAfee.
Probably.
And that's it.
Yeah. Gets paid a lot.
He'll get some money. He'll get to have his opinions, whether you think they're ridiculous or not. But that's probably the plan. I don't see him. Does he get into coaching? I don't really see that either. G from South YEG says Tom Brady needs to eat a sandwich, perhaps from the Italian Center. He needs meat on his skeleton hands and face. Holy smokes. Tom Brady's in incredible shape, isn't he?
That's what they do when they're outside of the game. They cut down, right? Have you seen Strahan?
Yeah. He's
like 90 pounds.
He's slim now too. I don't know where he ends up, but I mean, I don't necessarily care, but here we are talking about it the morning after the Super Bowl, so maybe I am kind of intrigued. 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We could change 300 here, easy peasy. So let's definitely do that. John over the Nasty Chef says, Dusty, have you checked in on Huss to see if he's okay after that beatdown of the Chiefs? We were texting last night. Oh, Dustin with a Wise jacket, passport, and keys at the casino still.
Oh, no.
I have to make sure he gets those back. We'll make sure we get those to him. Where was I going? Where was I leading us?
Aaron Rodgers.
No, not Aaron Rodgers.
Huss.
Oh, yeah, Huss. Yeah, Huss will be in the lock shop today, unless he comes up with a hilarious excuse and can't join us. But Huss will be in the lock shop today. And you know what? Huss is a good buddy. He's just going to own that one. Like, I don't see Huss making excuses for the Chiefs.
He's won enough.
He's such a lovable guy, too. It's not like I'm going to be like, take that, you Chiefs guys. Like, he's hurting. I'm not gonna grind it in there a little bit more. But I think he'll just kind of own it and move on and probably bet the Chiefs to win it all next year. Because that's how Huss operates. Jared is saying Aaron Rodgers and brother versus Jake and Logan Paul. Some sort of hilarious wrestling match, maybe. That could be something you look at as well. All right, let's dive in the fan zone for fansfirst.ca. If you've been using this service, buying or selling your tickets, very good reviews from people. Buy fans, for fans, no fees. Get your tickets for the Oilers push down the stretch and into the playoffs at fansfirst.ca. Just cheaper than all of the other reseller sites. Simple as that. Here's a question for you Oilers fans right now. What are you expecting from Connor McDavid at Four Nations? You think he sort of just goes through the motions, make sure he doesn't get hurt, or do you think he's a man on fire like that Denzel Washington movie, and he's unbelievable?
You can't play not to get hurt. That's when you get hurt.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do. Trev, what do you think? What do you think we see from Connor McDavid here at Four Nations?
From a guy that's been robbed for the most part to rep Team Canada since he's entered the NHL. He did have the World Championships, but that was quite some time ago, and he got gold there. He won it for Team Canada, and aside from that, He's got nothing. And he's always talked about, since he's joined the league, playing with Sid. That was his idol. So I expect McDavid of old. I think he's going to go supernova.
You think so? So you're just thinking it's like...
Yeah, I think this is good for him. I think it's going to be awesome. And, from a mentor standpoint, I think he's going to learn a lot from Sid, just seeing how he handles the room. If it is, a 2-2 situation going into the third. We've talked about that. He never really got that. He got a little bit from Milan Lucic, but for the most part, a little bit from Duncan Keith as well. But for the most part, it's been all him, learning all of this by himself, his coaches, some mentors, I guess. But I think he's going to come out of this a different McDavid. And so I really do. Like, I think this is going to go a long way.
You truly believe it. I can tell.
I do. So. I think this is going to be huge for him from off the ice and on the ice. But he's kind of been, I don't know if that's what I'm believing is the last little stretch here. He's been playing okay, but I honestly think he's been saving some of this hockey, his best hockey, even the last month, just for this 4 games or whatever it is, repping Team Canada. It's been a while. It's been so long. So I'm expecting McDavid of old. I think he's going to absolutely crush it, and it's going to be fun.
I said months ago that being around Sidney Crosby is probably the best thing that could happen for Connor McDavid's career right now. Like, I honestly, especially a Sidney Crosby who's going to be playing through an injury at the event. You know, like for a lot of guys are bailing, and Sidney Crosby's like there today, and they're like, we have to find out if he's good, but he's like, that's Sidney Crosby. Like, it's going to be great for him to be around Sidney Crosby
for the first time in his career, for the most part. Like, I've always thought he was a listener and he wasn't too vocal in the room until I saw what he said in game 3 or whatever game it was. Game 2?
Game 2, I think it was after game 2.
Yeah, it was game 2. And I think this is going to be the first time in a long time that he's going to be a listener, and he's going to listen, to what Sid has to say.
Yeah, Sid would be the biggest voice in that room.
It'll be really interesting to hear, what he comes from this tournament, coming out of it. The media is going to ask him, what was it like listening to Sid in the locker room? Like, that's got to be a surreal moment. He's dreamt of that moment, right? Ever since he entered the league, he's always wanted to play with Sid. So it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. And I think it's going to be the boost that he needs. I really do.
Elmo over in the Nasty Chat. And if you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Do you guys think McDavid's a little banged up? Not from an injury perspective, I don't think, but we know he was sick. He missed the skills and drills with the illness on Sunday. So obviously he was not 100% as far as, and you know what? Even against Colorado on Friday, he didn't look fully up to snuff either. So Paul from The Rock says, Trev is right. McDavid had to teach himself to be a leader. Taught leadership is priceless. And that was the one area we had this whole conversation like pre-Christmas about, like, that was one area where the Oilers really let him down. You mentioned they tried to bring in Luke. It wasn't the thing. McDavid never really had that sort of mentor to teach him how to lead, but he's such a special talent that we all sort of just assumed that it would come natural to him. And I think it took some time for him to find that. But I think he's definitely there. He's definitely there right now, I think. Rams fan is in and says, morning, you AM nasty superstars. I'm so confused about Crip walking. What is it? Why does it matter that Serena was doing it? And doesn't it just make you look foolish while doing it? Look, Crip walking's been a thing for a long time. I do think it looks kind of cool. I've tried to do it myself at times. And it's not, it hasn't gone over well. I kind of got to be in the mindset. I think everybody just does it because they want to look like Snoop and Ice Cube. Yeah. I mean, Ice Cube really nails that thing. But it was a big deal last night because she's Drake's ex. And then she was out there doing that during the song, which slams Drake. Yeah. So they really kind of gave it to him.
All the hidden innuendo messaging there.
But, yeah, who invented the Crip walk? Let's look it up. Let's see. Thank God for the internet, eh? Back in the day, we would have never been able to find this out. Let's see. The Crip walk, also known as the Sea Walk, is a dance move that was created in the 1970s by a first-generation Crip member, Robert Sugar Bear Jackson, and it has since spread worldwide. I can't believe the Crip walk was created by a dude nicknamed Sugar Bear. But that's great.
It's hard stuff, man.
There you go. You know, I watched a video once on TikTok that showed you how to do it.
Crips don't even celebrate birthdays. They call them C days.
What?
Because they don't say the B word, like B.
Really?
Like
because of bloods. Really?
Yeah, like Nick Marshall was a hardcore.
Yeah.
Like he was in it.
Huh.
It ain't no joke.
Man, so those two groups really don't like each other.
You don't want to be Crip walking down the wrong block.
No, you can't do that.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
all right, so here's some examples of Crip walk in sports. Obviously, Serena Williams last night. The Super Bowl halftime show, LVI, had a synchronized Crip walk led by Snoop Dogg. And then Serena Williams performed the Crip walk at the 2012 Summer Olympics after defeating Maria Sharapova in the gold medal match. It's Crip is a gang. These are gangs.
yes.
We're not very familiar with too much of the background on it, but they don't like each other.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
It's in there.
One wears red, the other wears blue.
I think that's what Jason Milne ran into last night at one point.
Yeah, Milne was getting in a little bit of trouble there.
He looked at one group the wrong way.
You go like this, and then you put your foot over there, and then I think you tap your toe like this, and then you come back, and then you get your other foot going in and out like this.
It's like moonwalking.
It's close.
It's this generation.
Pretty much the same thing.
Moonwalk.
And you got to have a good knee bend.
You got to bend.
Right?
Yeah.
The knee bend is probably the most important thing about the Crip walk. I've seen Ice Cube do it in person a couple times at concerts. It's very impressive. It's very impressive. All right, so I think that probably, hopefully that answers your question, Rams fan. I think that probably
the fan zone
answers your question. Fan zone.
Fan
Fans first.
zone. Yeah.
We the fan zone today led us Googling who invented the Crip walk, and it's Robert Sugar Bear Jackson. There's a V step back in the Crip walk. You go over like this, and then you go down. And I think sometimes Ice Cube goes, and he like swipes off his shoes too, which is also pretty cool. Yeah. And then you do a part where your knees are like together, and then it's like you're a downhill skier, and you like go like that.
500 likes and Dusty Crip walks on air.
1,000 likes. I'll try to Crip walk right here.
That's what Hampton Steve.
I want to see this.
I don't know if that's allowed, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. But it won't be a real one anyway, because I'll butcher it so bad. But 1,000 likes. I'll stand. I'll get up on the desk here, and I'll try to Crip walk on the desk for 1,000 likes today. 780-218-9999. 780-218. Sarah over in the chat says, my son said Kendrick's performance had Riz. That is cool too.
The Rizzler.
Man. It would be. The Riz would be nice. All right.
I give it 5 big boobs. Boom.
Not those
you
guys.
know about it now.
A chocolate chip cookie. Like, those dudes just summarized America. Like, I'm sorry. It's just, my God.
Don't forget Mama Justice.
No, enough of this. Enough of this. Let's move along. We need somebody to play kind of easy trivia this morning. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you want to play kind of easy trivia today, 780-218-9999. Let Trev know that you'd like to play. Gift certificate to Mr. Mike's up for grabs. I've got a lunch planned at Mr. Mike's this week with somebody. Can't wait to get up there. Classic Mike burger for lunch in a meeting.
Prospective client? Business?
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm very excited about it. I said, let's
great.
go to
That's
Mr. Mike's.
Where you go, yeah.
Yeah.
For the Bernays.
That's where I close deals. At Mr. Mike's up on 137.
You go through all the voices.
Oh, yeah. I do them all. Thank you for joining me. Have you met my friend, the bookbinder? And Reed's just sitting in the corner booth. All right. If you want to play kind of easy trivia, 780-218-9999. 3 questions too many. That's on the way. That's the good. Still to come as well. Marmot Basin Snow Report and the wrap for William Huff. My computer says it's minus 29 right now. And then the little weather thing here says feels colder now. Even the computer's like, I'm done with the numbers. It feels colder right now. That's a tough look. Ooh, boy, bundle up today. Chilly outside. All right, let's get to a sports update right now for Windsor Plywood. Leduc, kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many on the other side.
The Philadelphia Eagles denying the Kansas City Chiefs the three-peat, 40-22, your final of Super Bowl 59. Patrick Mahomes finishing with 3 touchdowns and 2 picks on the night. It's the second Super Bowl for the Eagles in franchise history. 4 nations face-off. That'll get underway Wednesday night. Canada will take on Sweden. Yesterday in the NHL schedule, rounding up with the Lightning holding off the Habs 5-3 and Utah 5-4 in a shootout win over the Capitals. 10 games around the NBA tonight, including the Lakers hosting the Jazz. Yesterday, the Rockets defeating the Raptors 94-87. In Belgian, Thomas Dentry shot a 6-65 final round to capture the Phoenix Open for his first PGA Tour victory. Sports update brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
The Bookbinder of Alberta.
I can't believe it. You know?
Makes my day.
.802 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here. And of course, thank you to our partners over at A&W for allowing us to use the A&W song. And was a great live performance last year. Ended up winning an Esty with Dr. J last year. We nailed that thing. It's terrific. A&W right now. Text of the day today. Somebody's going to win that gift certificate to A&W. Then you can go to A&W. You're going to load up on some great deals. It's the new $6 Buddy Bundle. I think this has been extended a little bit even because it's so good. Buddy Burger with cheese, small fries and a small drink, or the Chicken Buddy Burger, small fries, small drink for just $6 at all A&W locations. All right, we've got 3 questions too many. That's a good Marmot-based the snow report and the wrap for William Huff. How about this? You know the Super Bowl was a dud when this text comes in. Hey, boys, take it easy on Huss today. I was fired up to see the three-peat, but instead I stopped drinking at halftime and was in bed by 9 p.m. I even had the day booked off today, and I showed up for work. Hashtag the fan zone. How about this guy? Had today booked off because he was so fired up for the Super Bowl and a possible three-peat. Ended up being in bed by 9 and went into work today even though he had the day off. Never seen anything like it. I replied to him. I said, this is a sad text. That's a tough text to see. Duffman, minus 34 without the wind, minus 44 with the wind chill in east central Alberta, boys. Stay warm. Stay warm. All right. Who is playing Kind of Easy Trivia this morning?
Corey.
Corey's going to play Kind of Easy Trivia today. Looking to win a gift certificate. Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever.
Where be?
Ready to stake your claim. Head to Mr. Mike's for a 2-course steak dinner for just $39.99. Start with an Emperor's Caesar salad, a rustic onion soup. Then enjoy their tender 7-ounce sirloin steak with béarnaise butter and garlic mashed potatoes, loaded with savory toppings. Mr. Mike's, eat locally, enjoy casually, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Mr. Mike's up on 137th. And I might get a hotel room there too, because that one's attached to the hotel. Imagine doing a business meeting with Mr. Mike's, and then they know I live in Edmonton, but I'm leaving. I'm like, hey, see you guys later. Head on up to my room. That's a mover and shaker.
Business move.
That's what movers and shakers do. That's what I should be. Mover and shaker. All right. Corey's going to play today. Needs to get 3 out of 5 to win trivia. Corey, you ready to roll, buddy?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Trav, you start the ticker after I read the first question. Where are the questions? Here they are. Here we go. I hope you get this one. Which team won the Super Bowl last night?
Philadelphia.
Which player was named Super Bowl MVP?
Jalen Hurts.
Did Jalen Hurts go to Alabama or the University of Regina?
Pass.
Which international hockey event begins this week?
4 Nations.
What country will Connor McDavid represent?
Canada.
Man, does this guy know sports or what?
No! God. Damn it, Shane, stop it!
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment.
Totally.
People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV.
That's stupid.
It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just so stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Cannot come to my house. No, not today.
807 on the Nielson Show. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox. Remember, all you men out there, don't forget Valentine's Day, or as Atif says, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's.
Let me see. I play the Atif Valentine song here again. Hey, where is old Atif in my phone here? Wow, he hasn't texted me in a while. There he is. Here's Atif's Valentine's Day song.
Valentine's Day, what a crappy day. You get your box of chocolates, your flowers, and your diamond rings. Valentine's Day, what a crappy day. You make that special someone breakfast in bed. Then you hope for supper and definitely dessert in the evening.
There you go. That's Atif laying out a eating schedule on Valentine's Day.
You really like that he did his hair last night too, eh? It was a big night.
Atif was having a good time last night.
He
was having a good time last night. All right, we got that's good still coming. Marmot Basin still reporting the wrap for William Huff. You want to chime in on the Super Bowl? Hey, and give us your grade, your letter grade for the halftime show. Was it an F? Was it a D plus? Was it a C or a C plus, or a B or a B plus, or an A or an A minus, or an A plus? What do you think? 780-218-9999. I totally did another scale on Twitter last night. I forgot I posted this. Almost 1,200 votes on this thing. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the halftime show? 8 to 10, 7.6%. 6 to 8, 12.3%. 4 to 6, 20.3%, and 2 to 4, 59.8%. If this was a draft, 8 to 10 would be relegated, and 6 to 8 would be relegated. The replies, one of the greatest ever. This reply said, not the artist that made it bad, just very poor song choices. He has so many songs that were better. This guy said, I feel Metallica halftime would be incredible. There's that one. A lot of people are saying, can I vote 1 or 0? So your reaction right now, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We are at 245 likes. We're probably not going to get to the 1,000 that is required for me to attempt a Crip walk on the desk this morning, but that's okay. That's okay, because I would probably injure myself. But let's change 300 here. Let's smash through it. Rashag is not joining us today. He's a busy boy covering practice at the Four Nations, so he will not join us today. Maybe we'll try to catch up with him from Montreal a little bit later on in the week. Jared says, I'm not buying my girlfriend a gift this year. I'll be waking her up with the Atif Valentine's Day song full blast.
Yeah, that's
true love.
Yeah. In 9 months, the baby boom is just gonna.
Oh yeah, just a bunch of little Atifs. That's what this city needs. Yeah. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
Yes, I do. 3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda. Check them out today, parkmazda.ca.
How's your Twitter account doing today?
Doing great.
Yeah.
How's yours?
Reed was throwing out a bunch of polls last night.
He was pulling it.
Reed was poll boy last night. Let's bring up Reed Wilkins' Twitter.
Reed Wilkins.
All right, so I was with him when he posted this one, actually. What should Nielsen's first 3 words be on his show tomorrow? Well, that sucked. Or bring back Puljujarvi.
Gets the win.
52% for me talking about bringing back Jesse Puljujarvi. I mean, you got to find out what the status of Kane is first, obviously. Just kidding, everybody. Calm down. Maddie, you don't need to slide in my DMs right now. 24-0 Eagles at the half. Chiefs awful or Eagles brilliant? 51.1% saying Eagles brilliant. 17-0 Eagles halfway through second quarter. It's over or Chiefs will rally. 62.9% already knew it was over there. Man, he was doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Nice polls last night from Reed Wilkins. If you're not yet listened to the Reed Wilkins Show, 3 to 6 every single afternoon right here, right after EST Afternoons with Hernan Salas, who didn't want one of my wings, but ate one of Glue Guy's wings shortly after, which will be discussed around the office later today. Question number 1, do you guys think it's time for Travis Kelce to retire?
Yeah, I mean, I know you're talking about the Brady. Did you see him and Gronk talking it up too and smelling each other on the
Kelce and Gronk?
Oh yeah, that was a whole 11 as well. Yeah, sure, retire, do your podcast. Like, you know, he doesn't need to be playing football.
He's the exact opposite of Rodgers. Like, we're all, what's Rodgers going to do? Who knows? He's going to try to stay. Kelce will be thrust into the spotlight immediately.
Yes.
Right? Like the moment he retires, Huss, one of his predictions last week in the lock shop was that Kelce was going to win the Super Bowl. Then he was going to announce his retirement. And then 9 months from now, Taylor Swift was going to have a baby. That's what Huss's thing. He's like, he's going to have a child within 9 months. Like they're going to move along quickly. But I would think if his brother, and I like Jason Kelce, there's too much of him, I think, right now. But if his brother can get a horrible nighttime talk show, then Travis Kelce basically going to get to pick to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So, and look, he's a handsome man. Handsome men find their way on TV. The rest of us have to start YouTube channels. Simple as that.
Yeah, and I think the successful being a football player and the success that comes from it is knowing you don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
And still being able to do something else. That's you've won, man. Yeah. You've won.
Here's a good question. Question number 2. Who would you guys set as Super Bowl favorites for next year? I think I'd probably go Ravens. Now, this is a ridiculous ask because we haven't got to the draft. We haven't got to free agency. Ravens or Bills, I think probably would be my pick right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the Detroit Lions should be pretty good again as well. I'm trying not to be a homer here.
One of the two, though, of the Ravens for AFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles should be fat and happy now. So hopefully the Lions get their shot at the Super Bowl here. You know what, buddy? I don't want to jump the gun here, but depending on some good free agencies, Bills Lions Super Bowl could very well be a thing.
I'll see you there.
Yeah.
You know what? Makes his futures, right?
If the Bills and Lions are in the Super Bowl, we will have to be there. It's as simple as that. We'll just have to find a way. It's like Hernan asking to take the entire staff to Winnipeg next year if the Elks are in the Grey Cup.
Santa Clara, California, Super Bowl 60. LX.
JCD 780 says Chicago Bears 2026 Super Bowl champs. You heard it here first. Mike, the Michigan fan, is saying the Lions if they get Myles Garrett. Cash says Shakira and J-Lo was the best halftime show in his opinion. That was a pretty good one, actually. That was a pretty good one. They were shaking what their mamas gave them pretty good. J-Lo and Shakira. I remember that. The Muds was like 3. And she was like, they shake their bummies. I was just like, yes, they are. That's exactly what's happening on that screen right now. Question number 3. Guys, who was the star of the show at the Super Bowl party last night? I mean, you ranked right up there.
No.
You were there till 1:30. We're not sure if you've been home. So you were right up there.
Remember when I showed up today 5 minutes before the show started? My pants were undone.
I wasn't going to bring it up unless you mentioned it. But he comes in. You call me. Well, we texted you. We called you.
Yeah.
You call me at like 5:52, and you're like, coming in hot. Click. Hung up. And then you roll in here around 5:59, and you're like, let's go, boys. And your pants were completely undone. I don't know how they stayed up when you came up the stairs. It was a hazard. I mean, you could have been hurt.
Could have.
So
that's the least of my hazard concerns.
I mean, I do think you rolling in here with your pants completely undone probably means you were the star of the show last night.
Slept on the couch. I'm just going to say it.
That's
I didn't.
Nice. Yeah.
You can. I know a lot of you sickos
I offered
out there
you could have come and slept in the hotel with me.
Yeah, but I was. Again, I've
They had
never
a pull-out couch.
Never done the old falling asleep in the cab / Uber.
But you did last night.
Yeah.
And you're lucky they got you home.
Well, that's fine, though.
I mean, they know your address.
Buddy driving somebody home probably wants that as opposed to the yappy.
Probably. Like, just.
I was fine.
Yeah.
Sir,
yeah,
you're here. Okay. Take care.
Glue guy.
Perfect ride.
Glue guy was going pretty good last night.
Glue guy. Well, him and I had a lot of.
He had to go home.
See, instead of being in the
Hernan was in a really nice spot.
That main place we had, it was very busy. So Glue guy and I would go over the other end of the bar. On the
other side, the backside.
Boy, we got treated like kings.
Oh, that's nice. Backside bar guys.
Backside bar.
Oh, that's pretty good. Hernan was having a fun time too.
Hernan was great.
Hernan was great.
Yeah.
I think Glue guy and LTE here probably had the most fun.
I had a great time.
Calvin C says, I called Dusty a hippie for his hair being long, and then I pan over to LT. Sorry, Dusty, I take it back. I mean, our hair is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's coming along.
Mine's coming along pretty good. It's never going to hang down, though. It just goes up.
I feel terrible.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, you can go lay down.
No.
I told you can go lay down.
No.
That's fine.
40 minutes.
You got
it.
But
we've been in Vegas. We've done, shows in the past. This is the worst I've ever felt.
You've never felt this bad. Really?
I've never felt this bad.
And here you are,
having
grinding
the time
through.
of my life.
Yeah. Grinding through right now. Would you like me to play a song for you? Do you have a request?
No.
No? Okay. All right. I was just checking.
Somebody that may have that sent me down. No more Atif.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Bones is asking, who's driving the EST bus to Winnipeg? We could take just a big bus to Winnipeg.
The camper.
We could probably get people to come with us. We could fill up a full bus. If the Elks are in the Grey Cup, we could take a full-size bus.
Charter flight.
That would be a long drive, though. Actually, we could maybe do a chartered flight. How many people do you need on a chartered flight? I'm not talking one of those little planes that you could smuggle drugs in, like in the show Landman. But I'm talking like, like a regular size plane.
Oh,
a charter.
Can you play the Party All the Time song?
Do you want that one?
Yeah.
I'll do that for you.
It's a party machine.
Yeah, party machine.
Very impressive. Taking a few years to put all this together.
It's not a one-year quest because it's so hard to get your hands on.
31 likes away from 300.
At this stage of my life, I don't invest in green bananas. It's a lifetime quest. Just not sure if I'm going to be around long enough to see them ripen to be yellow.
The bookbinder of Alberta.
You can't party enough when you win that thing. It's a party machine. Party machine. That's why it's the Stanley Cup.
It's hard. It's hard. Party all the time, party all the time, party all the time.
Somebody said Glue Guy booked charters for the Wildcats. Put him on it. He might be the guy to get the charter.
Thanks, McLean. Good looking out for the boys. Yeah, we could do that. Right? When you pay the pilot and the gas, right? What else do you need?
And then Huss has the sign EST at the airport.
At the airport.
We all get off.
We all get off the plane, and Huss is sitting there with a big EST sign. That would be great. But I mean, so this week, tampering window's closed. If we didn't love this thing so much, we hold it up here and we smash it with a hammer. But
once
we need it for next year.
It starts up again. It's
well,
always
now,
on. It's always on.
As of tomorrow, I think they can start actually officially signing these guys, and then we'll have a bunch of them on. I want to talk with Gregor McKellar. What's he the guy who does the accordion?
Bagpiper.
The bagpiper. Yeah. I was saying accordion to Hernan last night when he didn't have that wing that I offered him. So yeah, he's a bagpiper. So
maybe he can come in and play a few songs for us.
Well, actually, if he wants to, Fergie will hate him. Because Fergie's our EST bagpiper.
Screw Fergie.
But he might be replaced by a left
Leaving
guard.
after one quarter. Morning, guys. Feel great today.
When you bail after...
Yeah.
When you bail after the first quarter of a Super Bowl party, does that take away the love you would get for even showing up to Super Bowl party?
Well, Bones says classic guy reserving a seat and then leaving.
It's a good point.
Somebody missed out.
Somebody else was calling Century Casino, and they're like, "Yeah, I'd like to reserve a seat," and they're like, "Sorry, we're all booked up." And then Fergie's the Simpsons meme where he walks in, puts his hat down, walks around, grabs it again, and walks out. Fergie could have given a heads up, and somebody else could have booked for the second, third, and fourth quarter.
Selfish man. Feel great today. And then he wonders in the nasty chat, I'm a human pinata today. Well, no, him.
Oh, him. Who, Fergie?
Yeah, because he left after the first quarter.
Fergie, you did leave pretty
You
early.
can't. Yeah.
It's like going to a hockey game and leaving 10 minutes in.
Yeah. In a sold-out hockey game.
Kyle the Embalmer's wondering, okay, wait, but isn't Fergie old? Oh, no, that's Penner's Pancakes. Okay, but wait, isn't Fergie old? You can't fault him for that. I mean, yeah, but Fergie hangs out a little bit later than that. He had a date.
Jay's dad, John, was there, older than Fergie. He had a new flip phone, too.
What?
Yeah.
Good. You can stay in contact.
But I mean, we're not using age as an excuse.
Kyle the Embalmer says, what bland wing flavor did Hernan decline? Well, that's the whole thing. If you missed it, at 6:30, we'll do a quick reset here because we got That's Good still coming up. Quick reset on the wing situation that I'm dealing with Hernan Salas. So he's sitting next to me. If you missed it in the 6 o'clock hour, let me give it to you again. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please just word of mouth this to your friends. Tell them that you enjoy our stuff. They would like it too. And if you're over on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up. So I said this at 6:30. It's what hurt me last night. It hurts.
It's hard.
It's hard. So last night I had a plate of wings and Hernan's sitting right next to me. And he looked at the wings. He goes, how are the wings? I said, oh, they're pretty good wings. And he goes, Glue Guy says they're no good. I said, what? That's weird. I said, do you want a wing? He goes, no, I don't want a wing. I said, okay. Then I looked down. Glue Guy, who apparently told Hernan the wings were no good, had just ordered 2 huge plates of wings. So I had offered Hernan a salt and pepper wing from my plate. He said no. So I assumed he had a chili cheese dog already. So I'm assuming, oh, he's done. He doesn't want to have any wings. Then I looked down right next to me 3 minutes later, and he's got a salt and pepper wing off Glue Guy's stack of wings when I had offered him the same wing just moments before from my own stack. So I'm starting to wonder here, Hernan doesn't like what's wrong with my wings that I offered him when he had the exact same wing from Glue Guy. I don't even know what the explanation would be. Actually, text us in. This could be how you win text of the day. What was the excuse? Like, what excuse when I bring this up with Hernan today in a one-on-one? What excuse will he have to why he said no to my salt and pepper wing, but moments later, right next to me, ate one of Glue Guy salt and pepper wings?
And how does it tie in with Gager's excuse for leaving early as well, which Jason Milne was all about?
Milne did question Gager leaving early.
And then doubled down on that.
Gager's daughter had a little bit of an incident at dance, so he had to take off. All right, 780-218-9999. What would be the main reason? Put yourself in Hernan's shoes. You're sitting next to a guy who said the wings were pretty good, and I offered you one, but you take one from a guy who said they weren't good, the exact same flavor. Colton is saying he saw me drooling on the wings. No, I wouldn't have been drooling on the wings. I like wings, but I'm not like huge, crazy wing guy that I'm like, oh, give me some wings. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. I wish he was in already. I'd like to ask him on the air, call him out.
He's going to be feeling it today.
Hernan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was into the wines. He sucked around a little bit last night.
Yeah. He can't. You remember at the Stag, hey?
Yeah.
He doesn't do the day after.
No, he doesn't do that.
He needs
well.
at least a week.
Yeah.
He'll never be drinking again, he'll say. That's what his big proclamation will be.
Hernan just feels pity for Milner. The guy is a bit awkward and doesn't have many friends. Milne could be a bit more outgoing. That's true. Still trying to get Jay to come out of his shell. Bone says Nanso hacked a dart after the chili cheese dog and needed the wing to rinse down the tobacco taste. The partially eaten wing stuck in your beard, Dusty, turned him off. I mean, maybe. I know. I just really like to offer up a wing for a friend, you know? Said no to my wings.
Who do we got here?
Brundon.
Brundon's in the house.
Were you at... Oh, okay.
He was in Camrose. I was going to say, were you there last night? Fort Sask Mike says, did he see you not wash your hands in the room prior to this? In the washroom? No, I wash my hands every time when I go in, especially at a casino. All the chips and stuff, they're very dirty.
Shook a lot of hands last night.
Mike, the Michigan fan, is suggesting somebody get Lieutenant Erica Caesar this morning. Get this guy a Caesar stat. We'll see what we can do there. The Liquid Beaver, who was there last night. Good seeing you, Liquid Beaver. He says he wasn't hungry when you offered, Dusty. 3 minutes later, he was hungry. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's just he wasn't feeling it. And then... Oh, this is a good one, too. Rob from the Grove says, Hernan refused your wing because he didn't want to owe you later on.
He knows.
Yeah, that could be...
he didn't want that hanging over his head.
Okay, this is interesting. You know what? This guy... First of all, Clausen, you should be busy trying to warm it up for us a bit out here. My computer weather thing just now says cold warning in effect. And we got to warm this thing up a bit. Anyway, Clausen texts and says, he clearly just turned yours down, then regretted it almost immediately. But it was too late / awkward to say, actually, give me one. So when Milne offered, he jumped on it. Now, that's reasonable, actually. I understand where he's coming from. Like, he turned it down just to be nice. And then he was like, but, I want to try one. But then he didn't want to say, Dusty, actually, can I have one? So he just took one of Milne's.
He was sick of Dusty fawning all over Reed's show while treating his Engager show like the redheaded stepchild.
Man, his show's great, too. Both of those shows. We got extremely lucky. Hernan and Engager are like Forrest and Jenny. And it was a great combo. It was a great duo. They loved each other very much. Well, Forrest did. I don't know about Jenny. Anyway, that good on the way. We're going to go there just after 8:30. Did I say that good? Marmot Basis Snow Report, the wrap for William Huff. If you're watching the show today, hammer the thumbs up for us over on YouTube. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. We're creeping up towards 11.3 on our push to 12,000 subs. Mark in Lacombe says, listening live for the first time from Fullerton, California.
Hey.
On our way to the World Egg Expo. Podcast guy usually. Have a great day, boys. That's nice. That's nice. Thanks for streaming us on TuneIn and iHeart. Tell your friends, please. Dusty, he pulled a power move on you. Turns down yours and takes Jay to show you what's up. Now he's got you second guessing yourself and everything about you. Hernan is the man.
Oh, Egg Expo.
Yeah.
Like
no, agriculture.
Yeah, I thought he said like an egg.
No, he's not.
Wouldn't that be something, hey?
That would be something, Eric. Let's get to a sports update for Sit and Sleep.
Wow.
We got that's good on the other side. The Marvin
Why couldn't it be an Egg Expo?
And the wrap for William Huff is still to come.
Could you imagine?
I know.
Super Bowl 59 ending with an Eagles victory. They denied the Chiefs the three-peat 40-22, your final second Super Bowl in Eagles franchise history. Four nations face-off. Puck drop goes Wednesday night when Canada faces Sweden. NHL yesterday, schedule pausing as the Lightning would hold off the Habs 5-3 and Utah HC 5-4 shootout winners over the Caps. Rockets over the Raps, 94-87 in NBA action yesterday. 10 games tonight in the association, one of which see the Lakers hosting the Jazz. And Thomas Detry, the Belgian, shot a 6-under-65 final round, capturing the Phoenix Open for his first PGA Tour victory. Sit and Sleep is currently offering a winter clearance event. From massive discounts on major sleep brands to unbeatable deals on Canadian-made custom furniture, Our winter clearance event is your chance to transform your home at a fraction of the cost. Plus, enjoy perks like free local white glove delivery and special financing offers that make it even easier to bring home the best. Visit us today, South Common, next to Planet Fitness.
I am a Zach High man with the Leafs I used to ride, with Austin Matthews by my side. I scored a couple and I had a little fun. Signed with the Oilers in July of 21. The Leafs let me walk because they thought I had no soul. Now I'm over 50 goals. I'm the dangler from way across the other side, where Beamers and Audis are supplied. Third overall in the draft 2014. Got a one-timer like the game has never seen. Bottom of the circle is the place where I get set. It's going in the net. I'm Nugent Hopkins. I was born in 93. All the way from Burnaby. Played some junior for Red Deer and had a ball. Signed with the Oilers when I went first overall. My two-way game, they said, is totally complete. The best in the league. The best in the league. The league. The league. The league. 'Cause I'm Connor McDavid. I'm sure you've all seen my work. I'm not from this planet Earth. I'm deadly serious when I'm telling you what's up. My soul, it will not rest until we hoist the cup. Do what it takes through all the struggle and the pain, till just the oil remains. And we're gonna win again and again and again and again and again and again and again.
8:34 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here. The Hangout coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. The Wolf said Skip just dropped off coffee at the front door. Trev, go get the coffee. Trev, did you go down there? So it looks like the Wolf sent some coffee via Skip the Dishes here, but is there anything down there?
There's nothing down there.
Skip the Dishes is lying to us.
I'll check again, maybe.
I guess.
In like 5 minutes, maybe.
I guess. I don't know.
Standard French vanillas.
Just leave the door unlocked.
Should be 6.
It wasn't locked, yeah.
It wasn't locked. Interesting.
It is very interesting.
I think this Skip guy is really sticking it to the Wolf. That's a tough one. 780-218-9999. We'll get to a few more of your text messages. Marmot Basin snow report still to come. Of course, the wrap for William Huff, and it is extremely cold out today. And I got to walk back to my truck at the hotel down the street.
You want to ride?
No.
Look, you have a full amenities, right? Pool, probably an omelet man. You can have a bit of a
I'm going to miss breakfast. How about this?
Get a lift in?
The continental breakfast at this hotel I'm staying at down the street was from 6 in the morning until 9. Like some sort of hilarious joke. The exact hours I'm on the air. We're actually, if it wasn't minus 30 out, I was going to send Trev to run down to the hotel and just load up continental breakfast and bring it back. Yeah, that would have been good. Nielson Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. www.southfortchev.com. They've got the 2025 Trax 148 bi-weekly available now. A bunch of great deals on demo vehicles as well, which is really good bang for your buck. All right, let's get to That's Good for the Italian Center. If you did not see last week's show, we dove into that mac and cheese, which I was thinking about all weekend, and will probably be a meal at some point for the Nielsen family this week. I mean, the kids would love picking all their own items for their own mac and cheese. Yeah, kids love that stuff. Adults love it too. Changing 300. Changing 200.
Your kids probably more so than you, though, with some of the
but that's the thing. You pick your own toppings.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I love it. And it was great. So it's one of the many different recipes available at the Italian Center online. Go to italiancenter.ca. Well, right now, actually, we brought it up. We were in the store a couple weeks ago, and they've got a lot of nice little Valentine's Day treats for your special honey. Right, that's something you could do. Yeah. But go click on recipes, and it has it all covered for you right there. It's very handy website, italiancenter.ca. All right, so here's what's good. I don't know. Am I a bad guy for cheering so much against the Chiefs? Like, I absolutely loved when Mahomes threw that pick six.
Whenever something
the place
happened,
erupted.
Anything that happened yesterday involving a green jersey in a positive light,
the place went nuts.
Yeah.
Century Casino went nuts.
Yeah.
But just to all season long, the Chiefs finding a way. What was it? Well, I guess technically their wins in one score game streak will continue because they got destroyed in this one. But when Mahomes threw that pick six, I was giddy. Like a little schoolboy. I was very excited. And then
when DeAndre Hopkins
man, this isn't even my team.
When D-Hop fell, we all laughed.
We did laugh. A funny old man dropping the ball. It was I don't know. I don't like the Eagles. I don't think I hate the Eagles for any reason. Don't necessarily like Sirianni, but I wanted to see Saquon Barkley win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I had those ties going, but I was really enjoying that game last night. It was really good to watch. I mean, maybe that's a bad sport fan in me to not want to see a dynasty, like to see a three-peat. But I just really didn't want to. The Chiefs and the calls that they get, even that call, the very first one, when they went deep down the sideline to A.J. Brown, and he did get a bit of the face mask, but how did that face mask force the guy to fall forward? I was like, oh, here we go again. So yeah, I absolutely loved seeing the Eagles dismantle the Chiefs. Like, it wasn't even close. So what was it at half? What at half they had like 30 yards or something like that?
Big Slam Nasty says you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and that's the Chiefs.
Scott, yeah, that's it, right? Like,
it really is.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Nobody likes
when they've been that dominant for that long. I did cheer against the Patriots. I cheered against Tiger. You know how hard it was cheering against Tiger when he was smoking the field all the time?
Yeah.
Things change along the way, and you change the way you view things. But I don't know. It's like I just didn't like being force-fed the Chiefs for the last 5 years. So to see them take one on the chin, to me, it was good.
Same as the Bombers.
Yeah, I guess in the Canadian Football League, that's how a lot of people would view it as well,
was
right?
cheering for the Argos, like for a variety of reasons, I guess. But yeah, it's the evil. You turn into this. It's a Star Wars Empire thing. You hate them. You don't know why you hate them.
Yeah, does anybody cheer for the Empire in Star Wars?
But you kind of do, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to.
I never really did. It was all about the rebels.
They were sleek, though. They had
the Empire?
Like it was.
They were cocky. Think about it.
So.
If you're going to build something called the Death Star,
huge ships.
It can't be taken down by a kid whose only experience flying was on Tatooine.
But what is it? What a design flaw.
Well, think about how bad they are. The other kid, a child, took them down. Like, the Empire was pretty pathetic in the end.
All you got to do is fly across it for a certain length of time, fire 2 little things.
And it took down something that big? The fact that they even let
somebody should have got fired for that.
The fact that they even let the plans leak out.
That's what,
you know, like, you got to keep that stuff under wraps.
Tighten it up.
Flava Dave is in and says, my 5-year-old cheers for the Empire. What a strange little dude. Wilbur the Outlaw. Have we ever had a message from Wilbur the Outlaw? I like this. Wilbur the Outlaw. Sub to the channel if you haven't already, man. NFL bait and switch. We give Mahomes all the calls, so everyone's talking about how the league wants the Chiefs to win. So all the betting goes towards the Chiefs. Bait and switch.
Yeah, money. Follow the money.
I think the money was actually, from what I saw in some books last night, I think there was a little bit more money on the Eagles, to be honest with you. So now what? How do we view it? Not my name. I've never seen that actually on the chat either. This is great. As an accountant, I have to say the Empire's bookkeeping and organizational skills would have been a way better way to deal with than the criminal rebels.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I mean, they were probably very...
Rebels they'd have to pick up and move shop every...
Well, let me ask you this.
Every second movie.
If we're questioning some of the greatest movies of all time, who was funding the Rebel Alliance?
Follow the money.
I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of that.
Empire needs an enemy. You can't just be the Empire.
Jason and Leduc says, if your 5-year-old is naturally drawn to the dark side, book a therapist. Well, that's like a Christmas. I think I told you guys. Marshall and the Muzz and their 2 cousins were playing Star Wars all the time. And Marshall came to me. He goes, Daddy, we have to have a Jedi Council meeting. I said, really? He goes, yeah, with Emma and Lily, his 2 older cousins. I said, what about Elizabeth? He goes, we're actually talking about Elizabeth because we think she's converting to the dark side. And then I looked at the Muzz. I said, are you going to the dark side? And she gives me one of these. She's like, I was like, damn, you are going to the dark side.
Like Dark Gazzola in the drafts.
Yeah, when isn't he, he's a heel now or
He'll
whatever.
He'll be cloaked, yeah.
Reed Wilk, I knew Reed would chime in on this one. I think the Rebel funding is somewhat explained in Andor. I did watch Andor. I'll have to dive back into that. He had money hidden everywhere. Remember, he had it like up top in his roof and stuff. You ever hid money in your roof?
Not in the roof.
No.
But other places around the house.
James says Reed's right. Just to confirm, I'm going to go back and watch Andor and get to the bottom of the finances of this Rebel Alliance because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyway, I was cheering against the Empire last night and it felt good. That's a good.
That's
the Kansas
good.
City Chiefs lose. Thanks for stepping in there, Reed. When Reed chimes in on our Star Wars conversations.
Makes my day. The Bookbinder of Alberta.
All right, that's good. Do we have a ski report?
That's good.
Let's see here. Let's see. The snow report. I mean, it's got if it's this cold here, it's got to be colder up the mountain, right?
Well, you've never heard of inversion.
No, I guess I haven't. Would you like
to get up on the mountain?
Would you like to tell me about it?
The temperature changes, right? It warms up
further up the mountain.
Yeah,
never heard of such a thing. No snow report just yet. It's minus 25 mid mountain. The 76 centimeter snow base. Some of them are closed, but it does say there's some on here open. But I haven't heard from the folks up at Marmot just yet. So the best thing to do here, if you're planning on getting up there this week, just check out skimarmot.com. Yeah. You can get in on all the tickets and passes and deals that they have as well. Plan your visit right on the website as well. They've got an online store. Minus 25 mid-mountain today up at Marmot. Still got to hit it. Yeah.
So stoked. Like, winter's here. I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just
I'm stoked.
so stoked.
Yes. I mean, it came down last night, what, a good 5 inches?
Last night, I think so. Something like that, and a couple feet the day before.
Yeah, you've got a 5-foot base with 5 inches of freshie on top.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
It's a snow report for Marmot Basin. They got 76 centimeter base. It is minus 25 mid-mountain as of this morning. And if you go on their website at skimarmot.com, like I said, all the lessons and rentals and ticket passes and more. And you can actually click right there and find out all of the status on the lifts, on the trails. Right now it says all 7 lifts are open, or they will open at 9 o'clock.
Inversion.
Maddie
knows.
Inversion.
The bookbinder of Alberta makes my day.
8:47. We're going to get to the wrap in a second. James B says, guys, Team Canada's top 6. Reinhart, McDavid, Marner, Crosby, McKinnon, Stone.
Yeah, LeBron tweeted out a picture of Crosby shooting a puck.
Oh, boy.
And Travis Konecny not practicing. He's out with an illness. Yeah.
Oh, no.
These next 2 weeks
I really liked Travis Konecny.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what do we have for the top 6? So McDavid's going to be centering Reinhart and Marner. Interesting line. And then Mark Stone still grabbing top 6 minutes, even on Team Canada. Very impressive. Alongside Crosby and McKinnon. Do we have the full lines? Do we not care about the 3rd and 4th line for Team Canada? What's going on here? Give me the whole thing.
Give me the Black Aces.
Give me the whole thing. We know Konechny's not out there, but what about the rest? And there's Sid shooting pucks. Yeah, LeBron's only given us the top 6. Rashog's down there. Isn't he at practice? What's Rashog tweeting?
He had to miss the hit.
Let's see. I mean, if you're going to miss your hit with us
you might
in
as
this
well
time,
be
you should
reporting.
be texting out nothing. Unbelievable.
No, believable.
So Marner, Trev, what do you think of Reinhart and Marner on Connor McDavid's line?
I thought it was going to be McDavid, Marner, and Point.
Yeah, Point's not in the top 6.
Yeah, so I'm a little surprised by that. I know McDavid and Marner in the offseason, they've said that they skate together, and there's been a few times when the boys get together, when they face each other, it's McKinnon and Crosby on a line, and McDavid and Marner, they're on a line. And so I'm not surprised that Marner's on the line there. Reinhart, I mean, he's putting the puck in the net better than anyone over the last 2 seasons. Like, he's right up there, so it makes sense.
Snipe City.
Yeah, I like it.
And Marner and McDavid, I mean, it should be a shooting gallery for Sam Reinhart on that line.
Yeah.
Like,
you got a playmaker. Like, Marner is just up there with the Dreisaitl's, the McDavids. Like, he's a playmaker naturally. So he's going to be feeding the puck to either one of those two, and McDavid's just as good. Yeah, watch out.
All right, well, there we go. We're starting to get that trickling in a little bit. We'll dive into it on the oil stream a little bit later on today. We've got the hangout coming up. What's that, Maddie? You need Eric to fill in on the hangout today?
I'm there. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, that's funny. All right, somebody texted in the daily face-off lines, but clearly they're wrong. I think they just were sort of speculating and putting people in.
Yeah, Konechny's sick.
Yeah, so he would not be in that spot there right now, at least. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, go see Bruce and the Dream Team at William Huff. www.williamhuff.com. They've been doing it since 1952. Think about that. There's probably still old-fashioned saloons in 52. They might have been wrapping those swinging doors.
And they moved really fast back then, in the old-timey, they get around quick.
Oh, yeah.
So can you imagine the Dream Team? They'd wrap stuff in no time flat.
All the saloon doors wrapped by William Huff. What did we learn on the show today?
Pitchers and catchers reporting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, breaking news.
Cubs yesterday because they're playing Tokyo, so they started a little earlier.
Makes sense.
But today, most of the teams trickle in. Play ball.
Yeah, let's see here, actually.
I'm loving it.
We make that your sound of the day today, hey? Somebody pick a Jays home run song right now. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or hit us up over in the nasty chat. Elliot Friedman is saying Brad Marchand with Braden Point and Seth Jarvis, Bennett, Sorelli, and Hagel rounding things out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the third and fourth lines as well. Are you excited for the Four Nations face-off? I kind of starting to after I get these line combinations. So they play on Wednesday. Canada, Sweden, Wednesday. So we'll obviously be getting ready for that one. All right, let's do this.
Oilers visit the Flyers Saturday, February 22.
Sound of the day today.
Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien.
I've been the wildest, I've been the craziest, I've been outrageous. High and deep to left field. Semien again.
Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien. Lend me a bat and I'm going to hit that ball.
The bookbinder of Alberta.
Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien.
There you go. That is your sound of the day today. The text of the day today. We had a bunch of different things. Why didn't Hernan eat the wings that I offered him and ate glue guys instead? Why did Eric show up at work today with his pants completely undone?
I still like the Egg Expo.
You did. You really like the Egg Expo. That was good.
Take me there.
So somebody said that crip walking is actually spelling the word crip with your feet. So C-R, I don't know. That'd be weird. Anyway, Jared's going to win text of the day today. Gift certificate to A&W. They got a great deal on right now. Buddy Bundle. That's what they're calling it. You get a regular Buddy Burger or a chicken Buddy Burger with small fries and small drink for just $6. Not bad. Text of the day today from Jared. The invention of the Crip Walk by Sugar Bear was a very controversial Care Bears episode. Did you guys see what Sugar Bear's doing? I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I used to watch Care Bears all the time.
Does the power and it's a gun. Bam, you're dead.
Did you watch Care Bears back in the day?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we loved Care Bears.
The
My
enemy,
sister
though?
and I.
What was the, there was the...
No Heart?
No Heart.
Was it No Heart?
And then who was the assistant? Critchley or some...
yeah.
Stuff like
the
that.
annoying little girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was her name? But yeah, No Heart was the bad guy, I'm pretty sure.
Tender Heart, Friend Bear, Good Luck Bear. Yeah, they all the bears. Yeah, but what was the... Because that dude was kind of...
The bad guy in Care Bears.
Professor
the Care Bears
Coldheart?
have faced many villains over the years.
Beastly was the other one. The little
Beastly,
the little rat dude thing.
Yeah, Beastly. Well, yeah, Beastly.
Yeah,
he was funny.
No Heart was he was in a cloak and he had that amulet or whatever. Yeah. Beastly and
there's No Heart. Well, he's creepy, yeah.
Yeah.
But look, it says here, the Care Bears have faced many villains over the years, including wizards, bears, and other characters. No Heart, the main antagonist in the Nelvana version of Care Bears, No Heart is a dark wizard who wants to get rid of love and kindness. What?
Teddy
you believe this guy?
Teddy Ruxpin, that was a trip.
Teddy Ruxpin was good too.
Man.
Yeah, I had a Teddy Ruxpin doll. It was a big deal back then.
Oh yeah.
I think my dad had to punch somebody in the face to get me that Teddy Ruxpin doll. And then Professor Coldheart.
Yeah.
And then Grizzly Bear and Darkheart Bear.
Beastly had his little
Shrieky. Beastly and Shrieky.
And they had that bike thing where he'd pedal and they'd fly.
Just like E.T.
Yeah.
All right. Rob from the Grove says, I never thought we would get into Care Bear chat on EST. Really, though? You probably did.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time till we got there. So, yeah, that'll be good. Merman's
more
in.
Teddy Ruxpin, though.
Hangout coming up. Who's on the Hangout today?
Tommy here?
We got 4 minutes. Even you made it in 30 seconds before the show started.
I had time to spare. I had time to zip up my pants.
All right, what are we watching tonight, boys?
I'm going to be watching practice videos,
of course,
from the Four Nations.
Definitely. You know what I'm watching at
Lakers
8:30 tonight, boys.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the beginning of a title run. Luka, and I think LeBron will be back tonight too. Missed the last game; they didn't need him.
Well, and outside of NHL league play, now Association City really takes precedence for
it
your.
gets,
I
it
mean,
gets
you were
cranked up,
absolutely
cranked up a notch
As it
today
should.
for sure. Yeah. So we've got that going for us, which should be pretty good as well. Big Slam Nasty says, yeah, I am very excited to see Luka in a Lakers jersey tonight, though. Like, quiet night. All eyes are going to be on this thing.
Triple-double?
Yeah.
40 points? 30 points?
It'll be interesting with the triple-double because him and LeBron will both be trying to dish out assists and stuff. So
It'll be high 30s, I think.
Can you imagine if these guys both drop 30-point triple-doubles tonight?
I can.
Oh, my God.
And Bronny Jr. gets a little time.
It's so bad
His
that
second
Bronny gets
three-pointer?
in. Hits his second
That's
three.
when you know it's good.
God.
The place, they'd lose. Oh, they'd lose it.
All right. Well, good work making her through, buddy.
Thank you again for carrying me, much like last week and today. That's 2 shows now that we proved the point that I'm utterly useless.
Don't say that.
You killed it today.
People are saying, LT, people are saying gutsiest performance of the year.
I mean, it could definitely go in for gutsiest.
I kind of want to. What happened to those coffees, hey? Like,
Yeah,
there's some
nobody
business-
knows.
There's some
They
business.
got dropped
here.
off to a different
It's
business.
Victor.
You saw the
Victor
picture,
took
right?
it.
Yeah.
Has to be Victor
There's 2
downstairs.
big
That's
bags
not
of
our door, though.
French vanilla.
They dropped him off at the wrong door?
Yeah,
Wrong door.
Some business.
I never
down the
heard
block.
anything this ridiculous. Unbelievable.
I think I could find it.
All right, that's going to do it for the Nielsen Show today. The Hangout's coming up. I'll be back with Huss, a sad Huss, at 11 o'clock today.
Not only did the Bombers lose the Grey Cup, the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl.
Things aren't turning out. And Hellebuck's going to choke, and the Jets are going to lose in the first round.
They might.
Just kidding. WS Tears. They got a good team again this year. All right, so I'll be back with the Lock Shop at 11 o'clock today. The Hangout is on the way next with Maddie and Murray, and I believe Tommy. That'll be happening here right away on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the thumbs up before you go. Turn on autoplay. That'll take you right on over to the Hangout when it gets fired up. And if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, so we'll have that coming up for you right away. For YouTube, Trev, Lieutenant Eric, I am Dustin Nielsen. Still wondering where the Rebel Alliance got all those funds. And we'll get to the bottom of that too here at some point. I'll talk to you in the Lock Shop at 11.